Well, they've fallen far, haven't they?
Yeah, they've been playing pretty well so far. Minus spot, of course, and with the fact that they're now into this lower bracket. Like I said, the side that, well, this game itself particularly looks like an upper bracket game with the two sides in question. But yeah, currently sat in that lower bracket position, of course. Norderwind beating NoChance at 2-0 in the upper bracket quarterfinal, and then obviously beating Ancient 2-0 in the lower bracket round 1. So now we're here, and yeah, with this first map being Dust 2, for me it's a weird veto. It's a veto that sort of really favors NoChance more than it does Aristocracy. Both Dust 2 and Nuke is our first two maps that NoChance have massively improved on in recent times, and Train being the last one, which I think is the better one for Aristocracy. So yeah, NoChance for me favored in this series, but with a map like Dust 2, is there really a favorite coming into it?
That's a good question to pose. Definitely could say that, you know, Dust 2 being one of the more balanced map, and then equally so being imbalanced, but still, it's a map that just gives more to momentum than any other map as a whole. But in any case, the knife will be lost as Aristocracy will be moving to the CT side, as far as I could tell, and they'll be making themselves, or they'll be making their life at least a tiny little bit easier. In any case, Dust 2, you already mentioned how NoChance have improved, how NoChance are playing a lot better, and talking about Nuke, that certainly is something that, you know, is not just based on a few words, but quite a few games, whilst for Dust 2, it might not have been the best of statistics around, but certainly Dust 2 has also been risen, or has risen as their one of their core maps of this team. And I'm very much excited to see how NC can perform against Aristocracy, because I have to give it to Taz. He's had a rough time since he left VP. He had quite a few teams he switched out, and well, he's been with the boys now for what, about half a year, maybe a year almost. No, it's been a year almost, hasn't it? With
yeah, for sure. Back
with Dicha joining just recently.
Yeah.
So yeah, back in Devils 1, and back then it was still yeah, it feels like an age ago already. But Aristocracy, well, I mean, they've been solid themselves, and I definitely would not say this is a match we'll be seeing in the lower bracket. But yeah, it's gonna be the pistol round starting off finally. NC on their T side, looking like they might want to focus their efforts towards B side.
And with Thomas already going to be down to 20, that's a rough start for NC to take. At least coming into the pistol round itself, but here's the fast rush through the smoke. It's Manice that tries to challenge first, but overall... What? Crystal that opens up. I was about to say Mouse gets the kill, but even so, it's Makalele and Crystal that open up for 3 by themselves. Damage to be done to a couple of these NoChance players, but they should be locking out the B-bomb site entirely. Rollin, as he's left on 8 points of health. Just Iha left. It's going to be a very, very tough chance for Aristocracy to win this. They're already backing away. They know the pistol is gone already, and that's a good start for NoChance. First round on the board, and that T side is already underway. Nice little start for them. Not able to kill off every single player. They'll just save the Kevlar over, though, but either way, NoChance. Very, very nice B-bomb site entry to kickstart the pistol.
I mean, at one point in time, it looked like it could be Aristocracy winning. I mean, they all went in one by one almost to NC, that is, and then Crystal finds the first, and then it seems to all have just flopped. And yeah, in the end, it goes back in the hands of course, the one and only NC. 1-0, Dust 2, our first map. Not exactly perhaps the best of maps to start your series on for Aristocracy, but certainly it is where it is. It is what it is currently. There's no reason to try and, you know, make it out what it isn't. And Aristocracy, they have to focus. They have to put all their eggs into one basket and win this, because I am fairly certain Nuke will go the way of NC. No doubt about it in my mind. Unless someone literally can't play, NoChance shouldn't be losing Nuke. Whilst for Dust 2, it's all up in the air still.
Yeah, both of these maps, interestingly, have looked decent for NoChance in the past. They lost most recently to Tricked on Nuke, but I think Tricked are a decent side in themselves in the LAN. They've had a very good streak on Dust 2. So yeah, both of these maps so far have been really favored to NoChance in the past couple of results. Obviously, Aristocracy won on LAN in the Polish sort of LAN that they just had, but that was against the Vezza side that's really not proven in Poland. So yeah, there's some maps in these first couple that really favor for NoChance. Then going to be the first to open up and take out an initial frag. The force buy of Aristocracy so far not particularly providing all too much in the form of frag power. They've done some decent damage onto both Makaleli and Zen, but nothing that yet has been converted into a kill, and as already they've taken over the A bomb site as simple as a round as you would realistically hope for. 45 on the clock and bomb already being planted, so yeah, fairly simple start for NoChance. Second on the board, and should be at least another on to come for this T side, so hopefully they'll be starting 3-0 before the initial gun round comes from Aristocracy.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's something we should be expecting, something we should be seeing. I mean, Rallen and Mouse, they've got themselves the scouts that can perhaps thin the numbers even further. Well, certainly it is Maniz. He finds himself one. And that's the Galil to fall. So not exactly the worst of losses coming out for NC. Thomas and Stiko both able to clean house and make sure that things do not get out of hand. But in either case, I think it's fair to say right now that NC, they start off pretty strong. They put themselves on the map, I guess we could say. And we're looking to see perhaps a bit of a turnaround from Aristocracy once the gun round comes up. In any case, Dust 2, you shouldn't be messing about on this map. It's no easy task to win on it.
Yeah, it's really not. Dust 2 is one of those where if you particularly start well, you're probably going to finish well. It's one of those maps that definitely caters, as we've mentioned, for momentum rather than it does for team play, for the strategies. It's definitely a more puggy map than I think any that we've got in the map pool right now. But yeah, it sort of settles and comes down to the first gun round that Aristocracy have to play well in. We know that NoChance aren't going to be giving too many opportunities for Aristocracy likely to be able to win away with rounds. Obviously, these guys have played twice before, back in the Good Game League qualifier. I think it was one of the first that they played. It was way back in March, before I think the addition of Diha. So they were at least lacking one of their players, I think. No, he was in the roster. Okay, fair enough. So yeah, by the looks of things, it was exactly the rosters as it is now. Although of course, NoChance did have Nukia, rather than Stiko. Sorry, rather than Thomas.
Yeah, it was Thomas, the last guy to join. Yeah, Nukia. Yeah.
But it was interesting that Devils won, as they were then, 116-8 on Dust 2. So, you know, a pretty standard victory. And Train went their way as well. It was a 2-0 for Aristocracy in the best of 3, 16-8, 16-12. So if there's been some upgrades or some improvements from NoChance, then we should be seeing different scorelines here. But I mean, if we're looking at head-to-head stats, then it's Aristocracy all the way from what we've got to work with.
Yeah, I mean, we will see how they're able to play it out from that kind of position. But Rallen certainly opens up nicely. The scout comes in handy. Gets himself a free kill. Switches out for the Galil. Pretty classic stuff at Aristocracy. I think they're reading this as a play. I mean, they've got a man on the flank already. That's Stas coming in behind. He's got all the information they need. Aristocracy, they'll be focusing all their efforts towards A-site defense. And there's no reason to engage before a few of the players of NoChance start getting close to the site. The smokes will prevent them from shooting accurately, or at least truly. And well, so far, Mike is holding long. That's the first entry that NC will make do it easily. Mouse, he boosts Rallen, but it doesn't work out, unfortunately. And Diha should be looking for exit frags. That's it. He's not really going to be getting very far. He has no Kevlar, there's no kit, there's no point in really trying to and keep this together. Just go for the exits, trying to damage. NC 3-0. Great start. And it's the real challenging round coming up right now. Aristocracy, they've got the full buy. They should be having quite a little bit of utility to go with as well. I hope to see some kits, you know, go by the wise words of Pasha. Buy a kit, don't be a loser, buy a diffuser. Fortunately, not going to happen. It's Maniz with the op, though. And it's a full buy, or at least a buy that Aristocracy can handle. Yeah,
and especially bringing in that AWP, I think it was something that Aristocracy had to do. Dust 2 does cater for the need of an AWP on that CT side, and we'll see it going to be utilized at least toward that lower CT position for now, playing up towards short by the looks of things, waiting for that cross of the T side players up towards short. But for now, NoChance, they'll be having themselves that chance to be able to shut down the rifle round of Aristocracy. I think that's definitely the way that they want to be going about things on that T side. Don't particularly be wanting to be giving too much of an advantage to Aristocracy early in the opening phase anyway. D holding towards middle. Does have the AUG in hand, so can cater with the scope, and a little bit of damage to be given to Stiko. But of course, he does have the Krieger, weapon that is now being more widely accepted as a very powerful entity on that T side. But even so, Manise looking to reposition, and rightly to do so. Has the players approaching from short. There's the first kill to come through. Makalele already to be shut down, and with no response out of NoChance as of yet. 45 seconds on the clock, and they're even be aware of the players coming in from middle. It's the AUG spray that can't be controlled, unfortunately. Thomas to close down one, and this is a beautiful take of middle already, but there's Rallen in defense. He finds himself two. They line up for him, and as Maus comes in with a double of his own, that's a beautiful display. 3-1, and Aristocracy, well, they put a first round on the board already. First time of asking with those gun round as well, so successful to do so.
Yeah, and a pretty clean round overall. I mean, not too many players lost, not too much economy thrown out the window. And, well, with the first on the board this early on, they have a chance to break NC right here, right now. Double up coming out. Stiko and Makalele. Yeah, that's a pretty obscure choice to see on Dust 2, especially when you're forcing it up, but I guess it's not a bad choice. Dust 2 certainly can carry with, or can be carried with double up on the T side. It allows those long range engagements, and it gives you chances to actually fight for survival. Whilst Aristocracy, if they read this correctly, if they realize this is double up, all they have to do is make sure they do not engage it on all open angles. Just kind of try and support yourself with crossfires and make sure you are able to refrag immediately once one of the ops sounds off. In any case, Manise, oh, he's holding short, but nobody's pushing. Fair enough. He's just looking for a bit of information. Taz again through mid, spraying down. This time, him instead of Diha. Manise, yeah, he hears the Molotov. He sees things being thrown, but he's blinded out, has to pull back. And Crystal, I'm not sure if he saw or read him, but he falls back as well. Does not wish to lose his chance, or at least his life.
And a nice little play out of NoChance as well to be keeping things slow. We know that Dust 2 T-Side can definitely get aggressive at some points, but NoChance doing well to make sure that damage is inflicted, and they know every step of the round. 30 seconds on the clock, and you can see this is a very coordinated entrance to this B bomb site, although Taz might be putting a cook up in the storm though, but Rallen, he'll be able to find himself an initial frag. Maus to shut down one more in return, and as we see nothing out of NoChance in response just yet. There's Zen with one of his own. They now realize Maus is stuck in the corner, have to trade him back quickly. Time is ticking. Oh, and Stiko and Crystal, they'll find themselves too. Bomb has to be planted, and I think they got it on the final tick as Diha will fall as well. It's down to Manise. Their HP is low, but that doesn't matter with an AWP. All you've got to do is land that shot, and as he's coming on through, there's Stiko.
Oh boy.
To be shut down, and that's a beautiful round out of NoChance. Things look so dire as they enter the site, but they were able to turn things around pretty quickly. 4-1, and half of the economy of Aristocracy broken. Diha can't purchase, but the rest of the side will.
I mean, this is a pretty big round victory for NC. It's early on enough to not be, you know, a game losing loss, but it's still pretty important enough that it breaks the economy of Aristocracy. As you said, 3 rifles being bought up. It's going to be double AUG and the M4. There's finally kits coming out as well, but it's a little bit late for the party in general. 2 Deagles to work with, and we'll see if the Polish team can make something work here. NoChance, they win this. They force the Aristocracy onto an eco, and it's easy 6-0 for NC. In any case, good nade. That's going to deal quite a little bit of damage. And, ooh, less than expected. Good turnaround by NC, but still, through CT, Thomas finds one Maus refrag. Still Zen, still Stiko. It's back and forth into a 3-on-2 as Diha comes across. No kills. Stiko and Crystal finish it off. It was actually Rallen with the first kill there, but yeah, it doesn't matter. Aristocracy, they're unable to make it work, and it's going to be 5-1 and should be 6-1 before long. NC, this is a pretty solid opening, even though it was a little bit shaky on that B play. Rush even. They make it work.
Yeah, and this time it's Aristocracy that will now be feeling the full effect of this. Back down to pistol eco yet again. Stiko, beautiful damage to be inflicted though. He's down low, spamming smoke. Maniz, though, shrouded in grenade sort of aftermath and not able to confirm. Yeah. Still great damage done. Stiko down to 20, but overall, and he's wanting to approach. You can see that he's wanting to try and swing into A long again. He knows there's players in close contention. And with 3 stacked toward long themselves, there is definitely enough support to maybe try and go for a kill or 2, but it's whether or not you want to risk the endeavor and probably lose your men in the process. Makalele now realizes that is exactly what they want to try and do. He won't allow it. Maniz has all the info that he needs to now remain passive, but already with a minute on the clock, the rest of NoChance starting to head up towards short will be joined by Makalele, and you can see that even in an eco round like this, NoChance still considering all options. They have that B tunnel covered. They even are watching that flank from top of middle just in case there's a possibility that it could have happened. And as Crystal opens up for the first, the 5-on-4 should be closed out fairly quickly. Taz stuck toward Car, and no chance for him to be able to bring anything to the table. In-game leader putting a double on the board, and that closes down the round already. 30 on the clock as bomb is planted. And that's going to be 6-1 for NoChance, and a really good start from their T side so far.
Yeah, very true. I mean, Crystal, he's starting to line up a few kills. He's, I mean, okay, eco kills, fair enough, but he at least gets a few mouse. I'm not sure if he wanted to tap that ball, but it looked like he wanted to play a little bit of FIFA. Certainly, perhaps hoped to play with his teammate even. Stiko, this is an unusual corner to hold. You very rarely see a T player hold T base, or at least this part of the map, from that kind of chucked in corner. Thomas though, goes for the clear. Does he? Can't you wall bang? As far as I'm aware, and just go through the windows like equally as the car.
Yeah,
along.
I thought so. Yeah.
So weird decision. He doesn't wall bang it, but fair enough. Doesn't want to risk, I guess, being fast peeked and taken out. At least he survives, which is the outtake of it. But it's gonna be a full buy double op coming out. Aristocracy, Maniz and Mouse on those ops. We'll see what they can make out of it. 6-1. Starting to become a bit of a worrisome result already early on.
This is the scary part, right? NoChance on their T side should be at least on the back foot. T side is a half on dust too. That it either goes really well, which is going for NoChance right now, or it's just more of an average, maybe 10-5 CT favors. So right now, NoChance are in a really good position. And providing that, again, they can keep shutting down these gun rounds of Aristocracy, it's only going to get worse. Even though their round losses bonus is building, the money's coming into this side, they're just not able to do anything with it up to now. A first round on the board is definitely not going to suffice in a position like this, especially with NoChance, as we've mentioned, currently on boot camp, currently spirits are high, Pracken for the minor, wanting to make it back into that major circuit with players like Crystal, Zen, Makalele, Stiko, all that have been in a major before. But up to now, have felt some troubles in the past, NoChance. We've definitely seen them maybe fluff some LAN qualifiers, not make it as far as they'd like to, but he's able to open up well. Shuts down Crystal. Not too sure what surface that was through. Must have been the corner.
Oh, Rallen.
There was no damage done, but Rallen gets traded back. They know now.
Oh, boy.
One more man on short, and as Thomas sticks out Maniz.
What?
Beautiful headshot to finish him off, and Zen, look how safe he's playing. Should get spotted, but Stiko's already there for the support.
That is so good.
Shut down, it's a 1-on-3.
Yeah, I love this from NC. They support each other, you know. They get the bomb plant. It was risky, very risky to actually go for the A take bomb plant and all without having good map control or without having solid short control at least. But they succeed, and that lucky play on mid that Rallen actually misses his jump gives the sound cue to NC, and well, there you have it. Stiko free kill. Point in hand is Aristocracy. It's a save. Mouse, he keeps the AWP, but it's going to have to be an eco for the Polish squad. They have to play an eco here. There's no realistic choice that can get anything done if they force up, and it would just be a waste of good money, good economy. 7-1 though will be translating into 8-1, and NC, they're waking the beast, the tiger within. I mean, they've really improved ever since they've gone through very turmoilous times. We should mention that they used to have a faction, one of the hyped players from Norway. And well, while I speak of this, it's a B rush, pretty easy. They had Nukia, they had Frozen. Just the names themselves are crazy to talk about. But yeah, this round is gone, and NC, well, I'm happy with how they're playing so far, and I'm very content with the fact that Thomas is actually performing out of his mind.
Yeah, he's, in my opinion, he's one of the, if not the best UK player right now. Obviously, Smee is not as active as maybe he would like to be. I know we've heard a little rumor about him maybe going back to big in recent times, maybe after the major. But yeah, right now Thomas he's proven himself to come from playing in teams like Endpoint in the UK scene, and now has the chance to be on that big stage. Yeah, he's actually lived up to the expectation. Maybe took him a week or so to settle in, but he's actually been a really solid player. It's funny that we speak of the names that used to be in this side. Like Frozen, Nukia, all those players that were so good. I mean, it's a nice little play from him. But realistically, they've done more with who they've got now than what we saw them do in the recent times. Because that was such a... Basically, old NoChance was a poaching ground. Obviously, Mousesports came in, they took Frozen. Hellraisers came in, they signed Nukia.
Yeah. But
everyone was in and out of the door. Yeah. Exactly, everyone was in and out of the door. There was no stability, whereas now they've got players that, don't particularly need salary. They have, money behind them, savings. Stika was obviously paid well from Mouse. And obviously building up money and stuff like that, you don't need to focus. Salary's nice, I know they're searching for an org, but yeah, these guys now have been more than what the old lineup did. Obviously getting to that minor and being able to impress like that. So now that they've had more stability, we see how good this side can be. And again, they're proving this. Mani's down to 7 already in this round. And if NoChance keep up the pace and really close out this first half with maybe double figures, 12, 13 rounds, we could really be seeing a quick end to map number 1, and NoChance just proving how much they're willing to fight and how good they're realistically being. Because we remember back in season 1 of playing. Oh my god, how does he still get a kill there?
Yeah, that's kind of weird to see, but I guess he works out. And Zen through the smoke, comes out, gets a kill. I guess that's how it goes. As you were saying, yeah, back in season 1 of Lootbet League, NoChance, they got pretty far. I believe they played in the semifinals, did they not?
Yeah, against
either Avantgarde or Windstrike. Yeah, one or the other. Yeah. I'm not sure actually. They lost, unfortunately, but they made it far. And back then it was the lineup we weren't sure if it's gonna stay together. You mentioned how everybody or how many players were poached out of the lineup itself, and it certainly did shake the foundations of NC, and I'm so happy to see Michaelele and Zen and Crystal stay together and make sure that they try to run the core group, try to make sure that this lineup, this team can get somewhere at least. Back to 2v2 though. Mouse will be caught. B-site lost, Maniz in window, and rotation from Dika through mid. There is time to win this, but oh no, Maniz! Oh, that is gonna hurt. That's back to 1-on-2, and this retake is gonna be extremely difficult to pull off. Dika, the newest addition to Aristocracy. Can he make this one work? Can he save the life of Aristocracy for the first half? Oh man, I think the answer is no.
Yeah, he's just not going to be able to get into that B-bomb site, unfortunately. We'll grab himself an AWP at least and run for the hills, but that's now a 9-1 that sees NoChance. Just a single round away from double figures. And realistically, this is probably the round that they should be able to do it, with the fact that Taz, Maniz, don't particularly have too much economy to be going. We might be seeing a rebuy out of this side though, and definitely should. He can drop that AWP, get himself an AUG. Ralden and Mouse can both purchase. So yeah, we should definitely be seeing a buy out of this side. Even being able to afford double AWP as well. So we'll see D here on that AWP mixed in with Ralden as well. So not too bad of a buy round considering they had very little to come into it. Stiko going to be peeking a long out first though. Going to sit in the molly, take a little bit of damage. Doesn't want to overly kill himself off early though. And we'll back off and play safe. But NoChance with how they've performed so far on this T side. If they can make this 11, 12, 13 rounds even potentially. 14's on the board for now with how they've played. This will be a really good showing in this first map. And especially with the fact that Nuke is our second. I'm kind of thinking maybe Aristocracy went a little wrong with the veto. I would have expected Train as a second map, and I think NoChance did as well. Spoke to the manager, and he was really expecting Train as that second map rather than the third, which makes me kind of think there was either an error in the veto or they're wanting to test the waters with Nuke pick.
That's something
with Aristocracy.
Yeah, that's something I mentioned is unique. Ooh, Zen sleeping behind the wheel. That's, yeah, his focus was elsewhere, probably on the minimap, maybe on something else. But it's actually going to be Aristocracy getting the round because of it. It's Dika with a double, and well, that's it. That's gonna be the round. Thomas in a 1-on-4, unless he can somehow magically pull out an ace clutch, which he still can. A 1-on-3, 43 seconds, enough time on the clock to pull this one off. But it's a 1-on-3 indeed against Mouse, Rallen, and Taz. You would say this is now impossible. As I was saying though, nuke the third map or nuke the second map. Weird choice, but it might work out. Although I'd have to say that this is gonna be. This is still going to be a tough battle for Aristocracy. They might have won a round. They have yet to win the war. It's going to be rounds in a row that will count the most here. And unless they can make it into 5-9, 6-9, perhaps to close out the half, I am having, I'm having a bit of a clouded vision as to how far they can go here.
You know the CT side as well, especially in a map like Dust 2. Just like bringing it back to the current, they have to start taking consecutive rounds. Yes, like you said, they've won a round, but the war is definitely not over. Manice, beautiful first entry onto Stiko this time, though. That's what we have to be seeing. But Crystal, he's been able to swing into mid, and Manice, he's now tagged as well. Mouse whiffs the shot, and Thomas picks him off. That's a beautiful display, and even though Taz able to wrap around onto Crystal, again, they've taken over that B bomb site, locked it down as their own. And as they try and break through here from Aristocracy, it's Thomas again. It's able to fire home. Michael has the flank, and it's not even going to matter. D has last alive. It's 10-2, and again, the economy's in the dirt for the CT side. They're so lackluster right now.
The economy is the same way it's with the economy in Poland. It's bad. It's very bad. It's pretty much the rest of Europe bad. And it's not looking too good. Aristocracy, this will be a tough cookie to crumble, or at least a tough cookie to eat, because, oh man, things are just looking grimmer and grimmer by each passing round. And Mouse, he's going to buy up the AWP, fair enough. The rest with pistols and Kevlar. But this is just, it's all just going down the drain. Luckily though, Mouse, there's the entry, fair enough. The first one is his.
They're going to be heavily reliant on that AWP, though it has to be. Getting 3-4 kills, hopefully, if Aristocracy want to win this round, but he is going to go aggressive, although it seems like Matt clearly prepared for it. Tagged him down to 2, and there's the second shot to finish. Beautiful entry. And that should... If I was one of the rifle players right now, I'd just drop my AK, throw that AWP, make sure they can't grab it, even as you're taking the bomb site, rather than close in contention. Crystal to take down Manice as well. 4-on-3 is advantage back in their favor. Dia trying to come around from the flanks at least, but it seems like it's already being managed. Tico, he catches the first and the second. And there's Thomas to finish. A nice little spray. I don't think Stiko meant to kill the man in T-spawn. I think it just happened.
No.
You know, just naturally. I mean, that was a beautiful. It was a switch. He adjusted, but I don't think he adjusts to kill him that quickly.
Yeah, he adjusts the spray, but he is so accurate with his spray already that when he adjusts, the whiff is accurate immediately into the headshot. So yeah, that's pretty nice to see. It speaks volumes as to his quality of holding a rifle, or even more than anything, spraying down the line. Taz, oh wow, Thomas. We spoke about him briefly, and we said he's probably one of the better players on NC, or at least as the newest addition on NC, and, well, he's certainly carrying his weight, if we can say it like that. What a good way to enter, or what a blessed way to enter a site. Not a single player lost. Zen clearing lower, or getting a kill on short from lower. That's pretty much it. It's going to be Mouse and Rallen looking to save the weapons they have, and... Well, yeah, that's it. Aristocracy, this is gonna have to be 11, make it 12-2, excuse me. As NoChance will break them completely. It's... Aristocracy at this point are tetraplegic. They can't do anything. They literally can only move their heads. There's that little economy they have left. And unless somehow they make those SMGs and perhaps a scout or perhaps a a shotgun to work. That this is just... It's all looking so bad for Aristocracy right now. I don't know how I feel about this, really.
Yeah, this should be 13-2 and probably one of the most dominant NoChance halves we've seen on Dust 2 in a sweet minute. If you remember back in like Season 1 where there were, like, you know, the top 4 teams, NoChance, Avantgarde, Windigo, Windstrike, they were all playing Dust 2 at one point. And we were seeing like 16-13, 16-14 games.
Overtimes,
so drawn out. But Dust 2 seems to be a map that some teams have been able to massively pull away and others have just sort of flatlined, and it seems exactly the same for Aristocracy right now. They've not been able to realistically deliver too much on this map in recent times. I mean, NoChance have had some great results. Manice, yes they do, but Crystal not able to find it. Makalele does at least.
What, Manice? What doing?
Why is he staying so long though? Dice in the native Stico. And that's a 4-on-2 that should see it closed out with a very successful half from NoChance. Even in their victory against Ancient, where it was a 16-7, it was only a 9-6 at the end of the first half. So this is a real showing right now out of NoChance. Even when they won 16-6, it was 10-5. So there's definitely a huge margin of improvement from NoChance to be able to lock out a 13-2 half like this. And as Zen spots the barrel, shuts down Icarus. This is an annihilation. I feel bad for Aristocracy right now.
Yeah, me too, man. They literally have no chance in almost, well, no rounds. They every round is pretty much the same. It's no chance either dominating it or it's back to a 1-on-2, 1-on-3 that Aristocracy either save on or they just die on. And well, unfortunately, a save is not going to work this time. It's the last chance here for Mouse. He has no kit. Time is ticking slowly. Unfortunately for NoChance, they are, well, in a decent position, but don't really have much utility to work with, though it doesn't matter. It's the end. It's 13-2 as expected. Dust 2. Oof, what a tough cookie here for Aristocracy, and unless they win the pistol, that's it. That's map 1 done. We're going on to Nuke. And as I said, Nuke, one of the best maps for NoChance. And you may say what you want to say.
Don't you know? Don't you know? I'm living in shadow. Don't you know? Don't you know? I fell for fools. Gold, I fell for fool's gold. What did I know? What did I know? I fell for fool's gold. I fell for fool's gold. What did I know? What did I know? You were fool's gold. Yes, I did. And I did it all for love. Yes, I did it all for love. Oh, they say fools believe in it, so I guess I'm one of them.
Gentlemen, we are ready to see our second half, our first map, NC, on their CT, and it is going to be a bit of a party. Aristocracy, they're going to go through long. By the looks of it, they'll be trying to push out towards A itself, although they're going to be going in a little bit delayed. Smoke going to be deployed on Xbox, but look at this, NoChance. They are finally putting people on towards A, and they'll have a few players ready. And, well, so far, Aristocracy delaying the push, I guess. Through short it is, but is it going to succeed is a better question right now. 2 players on side. They're ready for the defense, and my stream lags.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Yeah, my clean feed lags. God
darn
not
it. Again.
Not again, boys.
Back to radio.
Radio cast, and let me... oh my god, here we go.
Oh, the round's only just started as well.
Oh, okay, fair enough. So Rallen finds Tico. That's the early start here for of course, Aristocracy. And that's the only one we know. Michaelelev did get the refrag. Maniz, Mouse, and, well, Mouse with the secondary. As Crystal was the only one to really get anything done. It's back to Zen. A 1-on-3. The bomb yet to be planted. Zen finds Taz. It's the plant from Maniz. Back to a 1-on-2. Clutch round. Yeah, the HP.
Don't you know I fell for fools gold, I fell for fools gold. What did I know? What did I know? I fell for fools gold, I fell for fools gold. What did I know?
We'll see.
We're back. Oh, thank God.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, sweet.
Guys, this is when Clean Feed lags, and we're just kind of trying to make do with what we can. But it's going to be 13-3 as Aristocracy salvage at least one round, don't they? I mean, NC, this is where things could come back for Aristocracy, but it's going to be a difficult battle.
Yeah, and especially with NoChance being as wise as they are to go for an eco, not wanting to invest too much into this round. You can see Zen has plenty of money to go into round number 18 with, and yeah, like you say, it just makes it look a little bit better for Aristocracy. They have a couple more rounds to come, but overall, NoChance with such a large advantage. Even if Aristocracy make a few rounds in return, it's still NoChance that statistically should have the chance to be able to close this game out. Stico burning in the molly should be a fairly simple shutdown of him as he backs off. At least a frag to be found. Make it two, however. Here and Rallen low. They will be able to trade out.
They don't check who's.
Oh my God! They luckily not able to complete it. And as Rallen, he is tagged down low, but not able to find the kill. 7 and 3 HP left on 2 players. Little bit of a butt clenching moment there, but it's still Aristocracy that take the round. That eco could have gone drastically worse. But fortunately, they get themselves around and.
If they didn't check Goose, that's probably the round gone at that point. And time wasn't exactly on the side of Aristocracy as well. And we do see the full buy coming at least here for NC. We've got the FAMAS, a few M4s, and the AUG. No kits, actually. So again, making the mistake of Aristocracy in this case. But at least the buy is there. But look at this, NC. Hard focus on A. 4 players ready for the defense. So short Mike takes the wide angle, fights it. The first kill his, and NC, they'd be realizing pretty soon what's up. There's no control from mid. There's no presence from B. But what is this play? NC, there's nobody on B. For real, this is balls deep. NC, they're not messing about. And Stico sprays down Maniz. Holy hell, it's an A play, luckily enough for NC, but that was a close call. If it were B, that might have been a round already lost. Taz and Goose, the plant. Gotta go through it. There's Mouse, nice kill, but a boost. Stico replies again. Taz, back to a 3-on-3.
This is a really random back and forward round, but luckily D are able to maybe salvage the advantage. It's Thomas again that's able to respond, and as Zen takes down one. The bomb's already been dropped, and it's down to Thomas, but still. Taz able to strike and make it around in their favor. That was so back and forward, it was insane.
Like, legit, I want to know what is this round? Like, what doing, guys? What doing, everybody? NC, you got 4 on A? Stay on 4 on A. Don't change mid-position, then you've already lost B if you lost it, so there's no point in challenging it. But yeah, full eco for NC, or at least eco overall, pistols and Kevlar, and that's pretty much it. Taz, I love his smile, by the way. Oh my God. I look at his picture, I'm just so happy about it.
Done through the door. D and not able to let Stico live any longer. Nice little first kill to find it. Should realistically be opening things up pretty well, especially against an eco like this. Should be no difficulty for Aristocracy to find themselves around, although Makalele puts a kill on the board, quickly responded to by Taz, however, and advantage kept on that T side. A fairly simple eco despite the slip up of the kill itself. Won't be overall affecting the outcome. 55 on the clock, and they'll now guarantee a rush up towards short, head toward that A-bomb site. And still decent damage to be done again. Tagged down to 9 points of health, and Taz isn't too steady on his feet either. This 5-7 could maybe drill a frag or two, but Maus Not going to let it have the opportunity to do so. 13-6, and Aristocracy at least making a couple of rounds consecutively. NoChance will have that better buy round going into round number 20, though.
One thing I'd imagine here is if they had HEs, oof, how this round could turn for NC. Like, imagine just 1 or 2 HEs and thrown, obviously at a perfect timing, at a perfect angle, but things could have looked very differently for Aristocracy. And it begs the question, if the round previous, where the gun round for NC went very weirdly, chaotically, just weird as a whole, it was a pretty, like, something you don't see every day, nor you see it perhaps once per 100 maps, that kind of round. And if NC would have played normally, if they were able to, they would have been able to perhaps shut down the first player slowly and get themselves into a comfortable spot to work with, you know, it begs the question if it were NC to win, actually. But in any case, it's going to be back to a full buy round. Mike has the AWP. It's going to be Zen holding B, and Aristocracy taking it easy, looking to take control towards mid and short, most likely.
Yeah, and a decent buy round so far, and NoChance. AWP, I'm glad they're using it on Makalele. But like you say, with Aristocracy playing more of a default approach toward this middle, will be at least setting themselves up for a nice little short take yet again. This is something that Aristocracy have focused on entirely throughout this T side half that they've been playing so far. I mean, maybe 4 or 5, well, 3 or 4 of their site takes definitely have been up this A short position, and it's actually worked out for them more times than it hasn't. The only one being where they got a little stuck in the eco round when they had the weapons. But it seems like this time they are going to back away from this, taking that mid control, smokes to go down, and a lot of utility being expended to try and sell the fakes, play the mind games with NoChance. Eco boosted up, already being spotted. Beautiful damage.
Oh, he
inflated, but they know that he's still on, oh, they don't know he's still on that box. Like he said, he's played this really, really well and can now drop down. Try and get himself the positioning. Crystal trades back, but it's Mouse and Diha that are able to reply. A 4-on-2, and realistically, NoChance, they're really struggling on the CT side, much like Aristocracy were in the first half.
Yeah, kind of having a few gaping holes they can't fix, apparently. I mean, specifically, the issue for me I'm seeing is the response towards aggression of Aristocracy. If it goes towards A long, then they have a pretty good idea how to handle it. But it seems like if it goes towards mid and B, they're not ready for the adjustment or the split play, and that's something that they need to fix ASAP. I mean, one of the primary things of Dust 2 is the fact that B side is nigh impossible, if not impossible, to retake. Even in a 4-on-3 scenario favoring the CTs, the retake is made doubly difficult due to the nature of the bomb site itself. So, you know, NC, they had 1 player on B, they had 1 player on towards mid, and they kind of let themselves go too easily. They had 2 players towards B, but the flashes and everything worked out perfectly for Aristocracy. So, you know, perhaps try and be ready for those early pop flashes, or perhaps readjust your position that if you do get flashed, you can hide for a split second and not die immediately. In any case, it is a pistol buy. Mike saves the op, of course, goes solo B, and he might just be awarded with a free kill here.
Definitely going to be relying on that AWP, especially with only pistols in return. Then already to be spotted in lower CT. I had taken a nice little mid control to be forcing him out of position. Smoke at least to be dropped. They know there is a little bit of utility in the side of NoChance, but Aristocracy getting into that realm of possibility where they're actually not too far away from NoChance now. Being able to make maybe an 8th and 9th round if they take the next gun round away from NoChance would seriously start to impact them. Makalele, though, taking a first with that AWP. A nice little bait and switch, and able to at least keep himself alive. Is tagged down to 67. There's his life. I was about to say there's his life finished, but he actually gets out alive somehow. Shouldn't have maybe gotten away with that, but he definitely does this time. I'd love to see the AWP being saved into the next round, though. Have Makalele back away fully and go and carry that over, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Crystal might be able to squander himself a rifle as well, so making some decent weapon advantages just off of the kills of Aristocracy, but this is where NoChance really have to start winning rounds now. They can't afford to be losing another gun round or so. That's Aristocracy right back in the game with most likely double figures and really knocking on the door.
I mean, They lose the next gun round, then almost certainly Aristocracy are on double figures. I would say there is still a tiny little bit of length of rope left here for NC to pull themselves out of the woodwork. And oh boy, Stiko, that's such a good play though, by the way. That's such a smart play as well. Stiko's like, you know what? I'll try. I don't care if I lose that Deagle and that mini Kevlar. If I get a kill, I deny the economy for Aristocracy. I take one player down. If nothing else, I take his bank out, and that leaves, well, a very poor economy for Aristocracy as a whole. And we can see already right now, it's a bit of a bad position to be in. Dika out of long. The Molotov didn't really do any damage to him. The rest of his teammates are coming, following suit as Rallen takes down Crystal through the smoke. The spray down is correct, and it's NoChance back to a 4-on-5. What a quick turnaround, Aristocracy. They're seemingly ready for anything NC throw at them, and not even throw at them, just kind of play their default, play their standard takes of positions, and they get easy kills on top of that.
Yeah, their CT side of NoChance has been so, like,
lackluster.
average. Yeah, they've not really brought anything to the table. They've not been able to respond to Aristocracy's change of pace, their aggression, their slowdowns. They've really been all over the map when comes to the control. They've not been able to handle pretty much that Aristocracy are bringing. Then able to make damage, but it's Thomas the first to fall on Makalele as he's trying to hold from short. The angles just aren't favored to him, unfortunately, and it's Stiko that falls. Makalele and Zen should be going for the save at this point, but with the way that Aristocracy have the bank built up, or at least a couple of players do, they should be looking for the denial of these weapons, and that's exactly so as Manish shuts down Zen. It's all left onto Makalele, and you can see the lack of economy that's now really making NoChance's life so much harder. The fact that they've now got 9 on the board and then an eco has to be taken, this is surely double figures from Aristocracy, and we've seen absolutely nothing out of NoChance as of yet. This is going to be 7 rounds in a row gained by a T side, and yes, it's similar to what NoChance did, but still, there were a couple of CT rounds that Aristocracy won in the mix.
I think timeout is required here. NC, they need to use a timeout, talk amongst each other a little bit, try to get their spirits back high, or if nothing else, just take a timeout, take a few moments here to relax, to get your mind off the game. I don't know what they need. They'll certainly know that themselves, but they need to change pretty much everything about their A-hold. Or at least, you know, their current CT heading. 9
you
to
know, life's
13.
bad when Crystal is your in-game leader and your entry fragger.
Yeah.
You know,
that's
life
true.
is a little bad.
Yeah, things are not looking good.
Yeah, they've taken a tap pause by the looks of things, so at least they have that to work with, to just discuss for a little second. But yeah, this is looking kind of lackluster from the CT side. They have to start putting at least 1 round on the board in the next couple, but with an eco to be taken, should be 13-10, and Aristocracy getting really close in the realm of that comeback position now. They're only, after this round, 3 rounds away, and that's a couple of ecos and a gun round, so scary time, NoChance.
Yeah, scary time indeed. I mean, given that this was 13-2 in the first half, I'm kind of shaken to the core to see yet a single round to go to NC, and I wouldn't even say anything if it was just a single round. Then I'm say, okay, yeah, they got a round, that's it, you know, at least get something. But now, well, Aristocracy, the T side certainly working out for them. Perhaps one could ask himself, what if Aristocracy would have started T side? What if they never picked a CT in the first place?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's the thing. We could have been seeing the same.
I just realized that was a glitch smoke.
Oh, really? I think I missed that one.
Yeah, he throws it into the corner of the doors to try and pop it. So there's a bit of a gap below. And you can see from top mid, you can see below the gap if somebody tries to cross and you get a free kill. While the guy on the other side doesn't see you.
Yeah, that's nice.
Trick shots.
Still, Zen gonna be off of the sort of boost up position. Does at least damage, but nothing that will be translated into a kill anytime soon. 45 seconds approaching on the clock, and as that bomb is already making its way toward the site, this should definitely be a 13-10. Crystal ready to be shut down. Thomas to follow. Stiko at least to return fire, but realistically not going to be getting too much out of the round itself. Bomb is already planted. Aristocracy know they're wise enough and have enough economy to go hunting for these players. Don't want Stiko saving that Krieg, and whilst he is up towards short and probably has a chance to do so, this is 13 to 10 now on the board, and Aristocracy, they're getting really close, and providing that they win the next gun round to put them on to 11, that's going to be 12 from the eco, and they're right back in the game. Right now, they're on the edge. They're on the precipice of breaking through toward NoChance. We know that this side is not particularly as mentally strong as they would have been at the end of that first half, but yeah, providing that Aristocracy win this next gun round, they're seriously right back into this game, and still there is plenty of money for NoChance. I hope they go for maybe a double AWP setup. I think it's time to bring something like that to fruition, but it just looks like Makalele is going to be the sole proprietor. Never mind. Then there we go. Picks up the secondary. I like to see it. NoChance are pretty competent when it comes to a secondary AWP, so we're hoping to have some success compared to what we've seen so far. But Aristocracy, they look way too good for this, and with the way that they've been looking to handle this second half, it's almost better than NoChance. They've given nothing to NoChance in this CT side, whereas Aristocracy, they won a round in the 4th, I believe, and in the maybe 9th or 10th, something like that. So they've definitely won sort of more rounds than what NoChance have done.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if nothing else, the Aristocracy is making a fool out of NoChance. So far, this has been one hell of a comeback. But Makalele will open things up. He will find one. There is a Molotov. There's the Stiko angle with the SG, although perhaps a bit too awkwardly, a bit too openly. Thomas is able to assist. The pop flash will not work out for NC, unfortunately. This time, Thomas, why? I ask myself why again. Makalele luckily able to snag it and bag it. It's going to be back to a 3-on-2, but that was such a foolish move from Thomas, though. That's never something that should have been happening in the first place.
Yeah, and that's going to see NoChance now into a 3-on-2. Makalele, whilst he is tagged down to 22 and bomb to be planted, Crystal going to be dropping down to 44 to run through that molly. He shuts down Taz, though, and look at the position of Rallen right now. Oh, Zen's going to take a knife to the back, unfortunately, but they know where that last man is now. The Krieg in hand, the Makalele, beautiful shot, NoChance. It seems like they've finally broken the cycle. It seems like they've finally broken the curse, and they'll get around on their CT side. It has taken an absolute sweet minute, but finally they've made it to that point. 14 to 10. And it looks like we'll see a little bit of a tactical pause to be taken out of the Aristocracy side, or maybe even NoChance, just to go for a little bit of discussion to see what they can pick up from here on out. But they've finally broken that cycle, and they've made a CT round. It took a lot out of them, and even it could have gone worse with the fact that both of those players at the end of the round had like 44 HP and 22, I'm pretty sure. So could have gone entirely in the favor of the last man standing of Rallen with his Krieg, but they finally make it. 14th on the board in a first round on their CT side.
What a way to close out the first, isn't it? I mean, the knife kill going into a one-on-one. That's certainly movie style endings there. Imagine if Rallen would have closed it out. Imagine if he would have been able to get that victory. But yeah, in any case, this should be a pretty quick ending here for NoChance if they're able to close out this one round. Although Aristocracy have the bank, they have the money, they have the, if nothing else, the energy to pull off 11, 12, 13, 14 rounds, tie a victory. In any case, I believe we're continuing and the tactical pause is gone, so at least that has been resolved. But now, Kieran, the question that is going to be answered soon is, does the double op work out here for NoChance?
Yeah, I mean, Zen, as he took it in the previous round, didn't particularly get a chance to do much with it with a knife in his back, but this is already read by Zen, but it seems like a little bit too slow. Crystal spotting out the info, but fully flashed and can't particularly approach. Wants to try and swing inside of that door, but not particularly getting too much out of it just yet. Aggresses, and Crystal will be the first man to fall. This is how ruthless this B bomb site is. They're already calling for a save on that NoChance side. They are not wanting to mess around here. They're going to give up the round. They don't want to retake that B bomb site, and honestly, it's a smarter approach. They have those two AWPs. to be carried over with the rifles, and that's going to see Aristocracy again taking another round, 14-11. They're not going to be stopping here. They're going to keep up and try and carry on, and they're even sending players to try and find kills. That is so effective. Well, it looks like Manish should be falling. Exactly so. His AWP to be lost, but maybe can be collected now that that smoke has been dropped, picked back up by the Aristocracy side, but yeah, even so. 14-11. And T-side again, able to just show that they're right here. They're still battling, and especially with the fact that it is, of course, the T-side that have looked so good on both of these halves realistically. NoChance wanting to keep up that pace, wanting to make sure that that CT side at least battles for the overtime position. Aristocracy 3 rounds away from tying the scoreline, and again with the buy round back on both of these favors, Makalele still keeping hold of that double AWP setup. It essentially does come down to this and whether or not NoChance can again battle on this CT side.
Indeed, Maniz. Oh. Spots Tico, gets a free kill. Back to a 5-on-4, and NC, the double up doesn't work out. And, well, I said it at the start of their CT side that leaving B open like that, luckily that one round when I mentioned it wasn't a B hit, because if it were, they would have lost the round, and exactly that is what happens last one. That's the point, right? NC, they're playing with fire, and they don't have a fire extinguisher, they don't have a fireman, they don't have anything to work against the fire. So their current direction is pretty poorly orchestrated, because otherwise they would have been aware that B can be rushed. They would have been having at least a single player throw a single Molotov, a single flash, a single nade towards B to try and delay those pushes. But yeah, Mike, does he even survive? I think the answer is probably no. Yeah, down to 30. Goodbye, Michaelele. You might get a kill, but even then, that's not going to happen. 12-14. And it's a tough one for NoChance. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the exact problem is. It probably is outside of the game. I would say in game they're still winning. They're still hitting shots. They're still kind of connecting together. But overall, they're just kind of not really playing how we are used to seeing them playing.
The scary part is as well, the stats for NoChance on Dust 2 indicate that they're a CT-sided team, which right now is definitely not the case. But if we compare that to Aristocracy, they've got one of the biggest T-side to CT advantages I think I've ever seen on Dust 2. They've got a 53-47% win rate on the T-side, so their T-side is incredibly strong compared to most of the sides playing this map. I mean, usually we see like a 51-49, this is 53-47. It's massive. Thomas, though, that's a big play from him. Closes down at first, but it's Rollin. It's able to trade in return. Stiko on that back line towards short, wanting to be in the face of Aristocracy. And he's definitely looking to do so. Crystal tagged down low, but I don't think they've realized Zen is there as well, so he should be safe for now. Can be the second line of fire. He'll have no idea. That's perfect. Perfect out of NoChance. A second kill to come. And at least ensuring so far that the A site is going to be more difficult to take. Makalele is going to try it. He's going to try it again. Might try for a third, and he even legs out Taz. 3-on-2, but Astiko able to respond, and look at the HP of these final two players. It seems like finally they've been able to make it work. Rallen trades back though, and with an AWP in hand, he won't survive. 15-12. And finally, NoChance, they make a map point.
If nothing else, NoChance are able to draw overtime. That's like the minimum thing they can at least relax their mind onto. But what a comeback. Aristocracy. 3 rounds and we are in overtime, boys. And I'm not gonna say this is the end yet, because it certainly isn't in my mind. The rushes, the works, everything has been perfect for Aristocracy, and so far NoChance. Such a poorly conceived defense around and around the entire map. It's a bit of a worrisome pattern that's starting to show. Luckily this time, 2 players on hold at site. Crystal, the first man to be well, the first line of defense. Zen, the secondary, obviously. The 2 ops again in the hands of NC. Mouse, close range. Oh, he spotted this time. Crystal has the upper hand. He gets a free kill. The smoke as well denies the peek through, or at least the push through, and it's back to a 5-on-4. This is a B commitment. Aristocracy actually commit to B. This is such a poor choice. And Minis does refrag as Michaelella was able to snag Taz. It's still a 3-on-4, and Crystal again, look at this. He's gonna push out Deha though, fair enough, but oh, Zen!
Look at Zen!
Zen, the ninja, comes across through the smoke, gets one, still denied by Rallen, still a 2v2, holy skadoodle. It's back to 2v2, once more a clutch round, and Aristocracy this time to survive in map 1.
Oh, they're gonna go straight through the smoke as well.
No.
That's the way to do it. It's Tico that closes down and NoChance. They'll find themselves victory. It was a very hard-fought battle, to say the least, with how good that Aristocracy were on their T side. But 16-12, final round confirmed. It could have ended quicker. It should have ended quicker, realistically, but they...
What did I know? You a fool's gold. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Take
take my advice. You say that you love it and you're okay, but I know better and you're afraid. Have no shame, just let go, follow me to another land. Try to understand, and I just wanna see the colors and rainbows, 'cause we just wanna be in this dream forever. Just in this dream forever.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Game number 2 here on Nuke, and it's no chance. Aristocracy, of course. NC had a little bit of difficulty closing it out in map number 1 after a 13-2 lead at the half. It did end 16-12. And they wrap things up, but coming into Nuke, the map pick of Aristocracy, a map again that both of these sides definitely know how to play, so we're in for another interesting game as we get into our second map and see if whether or not Aristocracy can battle back to the third in the series, whether we're going to see NoChance maybe swiftly closing out another victory.
Indeed, I mean, we would expect Nuke to go to NoChance's side, but after the Battle of Dust 2, I do believe Aristocracy have it in them to be able to overtake this map and potentially pull us into a third train. Although I have to admit that NoChance did toy with Aristocracy at times, especially with how they left B-side open, and, well, they did get burned a few times because of it, so I pray that we'll not be seeing the same mistakes out of them this time. On the other side, though, Aristocracy, I'm kind of wondering to see how the knife is going to go, because I do believe it's pretty important for Nuke, at least to win the knife, to try and get a good start, to try and get the CT side if you can. And by the looks of it, that's something that will be doable for NC, or at least that will be, excuse me, not for NC, but for Aristocracy. As, yeah, it will go exactly like that. Aristocracy will take the knife. They'll be having a chance to play on the CT to at least start well. One thing we mentioned is, what if Dust 2 would have begun with Aristocracy on the T side? Well, I guess here there's not really an argument that can work like that. You either have CT and you have a good start, or you don't have a good start. In any case, it is going to be Nuke. It is going to be our second map, potentially our last one. You know, if I'd have to say who'd win here, or at least who probably wins here, I'd say NoChance, just because it's NoChance. It's just because they are looking so good, and every time they play, they look better and better.
Yeah, they've actually looked really decent since obviously qualifying for the minor and being able to make it through some decent, you know, not overly, like, you know, massive victories, but they've played some really good events. They obviously went against Liquid in the GGBet Majestic qualifier, or whatever it was, the qualifier that granted the places into both Chicago and Cologne. So yeah, they took a 16-4 defeat on Nuke against Liquid, but I don't think you can particularly count that as any sort of you know, statistic to go on at this point, just because, you know, Liquid obviously best team in the world,
Currently world champions.
yeah, probably the best, or no, definitely the best North American team to ever play Counter-Strike. But yeah, Yeah, I don't think that's one we can really throw into the mix, considering it was a 13-2 T-side half for Liquid. So we'll skip that one. But they've had some close games, some really good results against Heroic, Windigo. So we're definitely hoping to see a solid performance out of NoChance. This time, an outside play being taken. Daiher and Rallen both able to take out kills, but it's Thomas and Makalele that do one better. And Taz, the flank already being managed. Bomb is dropped, though. Makalele falls, and that does leave the bomb in open hands. Thomas wanting to try and take that back, and damage done to Crystal as well, but in a 1-on-2, trying to overwhelm him. Great damage done. This actually could work out for Taz. He is rapidly running out of bullets, and the bomb has been retrieved, so will be planted at least, but as he's already inside of heaven,
He's been heard. Yeah.
waiting for him to approach, has now a USP to work with, 92 points of health. He's really at an advantage, even with 2 players alive. It's just how he manages.
Oh, he's
way
not
into
checking
the
underneath
site right here, but underneath him, like you said, exactly. Crystal's there and NoChance. They'll find themselves the first pistol to begin that T side, and that's a really good thing to do. Nuke is, as you mentioned, heavily CT sided, so already to bag a pistol. That's a really good start from NoChance so far.
Yeah, I just pray we don't see a force from Aristocracy because, yeah, oh, come on. Well, fair enough. I mean, again...
This force is the worst as well.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's the worst, but certainly in this kind of position, I would argue that perhaps it's better to try with the gun round first and then try a few forces in between instead of sacrificing the third round gun round for this meager force with a scout and a few pistols. And of course, we cannot underestimate the pistols. There are certainly great weapons to use close range. Nuke, a map that can favor those kind of engagements, and well, there it is. Thomas will fall if nothing else. But again, I have to point the fact that, well, Aristocracy, they tend to lose against rounds like this, or in rounds like this, and they're not exactly in a comfortable position, or at least won't be in a comfortable position afterwards. In any case, bit of a slowdown. NoChance after losing Thomas. They want to play it carefully. They're certainly aware of how close this can get and how quickly it can turn.
Yeah, rightly so. It looks like it. Rather than not really being faced off against too much. Down in that secret position. 45 on the clock, and yeah, with the majority of NoChance outside and through that squeaky door. Taz again looking to peek, looking to utilize that CZ, and he will exactly be able to do that. It's Dia that takes out one, and oh my gosh, it actually has happened. Okay.
I guess that's how it goes.
Yeah, apparently. I have no, yeah.
I'm kind of disappointed NC actually pushed towards A after realizing it's a force buy. Losing the first player outside. Obviously, the answer to how to win is complicated. It's never the same. But probably the worst case position is to try and go A. Especially 1-by-1. Especially going in simply looking for frags, instead of trying to work off of your superior weaponry and utility. It's going to be, of course, an eco for NC. They don't really have much money for anything. And this is where you expect a force out of the T side when they have $1,400 instead of an eco. But fair enough. They want to have enough money for a real buy next. Perhaps looking to plant. If they do plant, even with the loss here, they still should be able to buy the next. In any case, though, the plan is now impossible to pull off. But Aristocracy, this is a great opening. At least they're not going to be following suit of their first map.
Yeah, and especially on Nuke as well. CT side obviously does have and definitely should have the advantage on this map itself, so we shouldn't be too... Oh my god, Taj just aces with an auto shotgun.
There we go. I love it.
He just backed himself $4,500 on an eco. Love to see it. But yeah, like you said, with the fact that NoChance do go for that eco themselves in this round, they'll be taking one more and having plenty of cash for that next round. Aristocracy should be taking the 3-1, and yeah, CT side of Nuke, they should be taking the victory in the first half. It's all about how many rounds that T side gets. So if they get 4 or 5 rounds, 6 potentially, they're going to be really set for that second half. But so it's all about whether Aristocracy can limit what they can do on this T side rather than worrying about their own game realistically.
Yeah, definitely so. It's Stiko this time. Deagle in hand. That shuts down the first. Miniz. Well. I mean, when that when that happens, there's not really much you can do. The auto shotgun Taz, balls of steel. He's got $9,000 in the bank. He doesn't really care about anything. Stiko still able to pull it back into a one-on-one. Wait a second.
No way.
Wait a second. Stiko, he's not done yet. He's ready for the peek. He sees Mouse. He doesn't get the kill, unfortunately. But at least he gets the kill. Excuse me, the peek, the info, the information. 48 seconds. Tags onto Mouse. 59.
Oh.
This is starting to grow ever closer. Luckily, Stiko will not pull it off, at least for Aristocracy, and it's going to be 3-1 as Aristocracy keep their lead for the moment.
A lot of damage done in an eco, though. Nice to see from NoChance, bagging themselves some great kills off of the back of very little, forcing a rebuy out of Aristocracy. You can see, though, that Taz and Mouse all have that good money built up. And still, going to see the purchase out of NoChance for the first round here. Couple of Kriegs in the hand of Stiko and Thomas, but overall it's the rifles that are looking to make the impact. Of course, those AKs, decent utility across the board as well this time. Still, they are looking to try and exert that outside control this time, however, going past that red box. Although Manice is showing a lot of aggression himself, especially with an AWP. He's already inside a trophy room, so that's a lot of info gathered right now by Aristocracy. And as Rylan already spots Makalele being toward outside, they can almost confirm that this is definitely going to be a B site take. Stiko is deep inside events already, so he's going to be holding off that A rotation, but overall, Aristocracy should be reading this pretty well, and the only man you can really see being an influence is Stiko if he holds that flank, and right now he's particularly being contested. Thomas, though, that's the AWP shutdown. That's where it gets things a little more difficult now. The info to be gathered, and that's beautiful. A second kill to come, and do they realize Diha is in position? Well, they definitely do now. A 5-on-3, and it seems like NoChance. They might have locked themselves out around and forced Aristocracy into a save. They're not moving a muscle here, and that's a second on the board for the T side.
And finally, NoChance wake up from this bit of a nightmare they've been having. And with the first gun round being won for them, it spells that not only with 5 men surviving, that they're going to be getting a pretty big bank to work with. They also try to chase down Aristocracy's lead, and the unfortunate fact is there's 3 players surviving, so a rebuy is almost inevitable. As Taz has 7,000, he can drop an AWP if he wants, perhaps even 2 rifles, whatever the hell perhaps Maniz would like to wield. In any case, Nuke, a map that does not really favor the T side, and specifically here, if we take a look at the statistics for the last few months, it is NoChance that have been very prevalent on it. Although for Aristocracy, I mean, it is their pick after all, and I wouldn't be surprised if they have some aces up their sleeves. In any case, we're back to the gun run. We're back to the starting point as NoChance will be opening it up with 2 SGs and 3 AKs. No op, interestingly enough. I would perhaps hope to see one on Mike, but there was not really a need for it, at least not yet.
Yeah, it seems like they're focusing on their Kriegs rather than the Orbs, which is interesting.
It's not a bad choice, really.
Yeah, definitely not. It's going to be Diha that's first to fall, and that's a really nice entry. It shuts off Rylan entirely, and when he's already low on that AWP, he's already having to play a little more passively, so yeah, like you said, it's a nice little factor, despite not using an AWP, which is kind of necessary to battle against the AWP on Nuke T side, but they seem to be managing it well so far.
Indeed they are. Maniz is holding down in secret stairway, so he's going to be a bit of a nuisance. If somebody tries to push through here, almost certainly an entry will be given to Aristocracy early on. There goes Burst. It's Crystal with the bomb actually that drops. Maniz falls back. He's buying time for himself to start and evade this chase. And there are players already in support for Maniz. Unfortunately, Mike is close. He gets one. It's Mouse, though, that refracts, but not for long. Once more, it's Zen and Stiko. They sound up together, and it leaves Taz alone in a 1-on-3. A save almost 99% of the time in this case. He might want to go perhaps towards ramp, try and grab the AWP if he can. Although I think the op was dropped towards window, so yeah, not gonna happen really.
Yeah, either has to time it really, really well, or unfortunately just give it up. And luckily he does have at least money to invest into the round if they wanted to do. But with the fact that up to now, we are going to see very little across Ralen, Manice themselves, not particularly going to be as strong as they would like. And this is going to see NoChance tie things up 3-3 in this T side of Nuke, already starting to make close to as many rounds as they typically would need in a map like Nuke. But with the fact that Aristocracy are now down to low, they will be able to invest off of the back of this round, but failing to win this one, we'll see NoChance at least up to a 4th and potentially a 5th to come with the eco. So it gets a little difficult for Aristocracy in these next couple of rounds if they can't make these gun rounds work. We've seen in the past just how dominant that a CT side can be on Nuke, and if they can't show that this time against a team like NoChance, who can definitely play both sides of this map, that's going to provide a real issue, and maybe a bigger one than Dust 2, even though they were down 13-2 at the half. It's even worse to be losing maybe 9-6, 10-5 in a map like Nuke on the CT side. Ralen, though, opens up through the smoke. Stiko and Zen to deal damage and return a trade, but look at Manice. He's venturing, but Makalele's smarter. Closes him down in a 4-on-3 with so much time left for NoChance just to make this round their own.
Yeah, Manice perhaps a bit too eager early on, read perfectly. And it's Taz that's holding the line towards Squeaky. I believe he has an eye on Stiko, almost certainly does. And Stiko might be aware of this because he's not moving an inch. I think he certainly has a good idea. Perhaps somebody's waiting on the other side of Squeaky itself. NoChance. They're moving through outside though. They'll be looking to push towards Secret. Mouse, he spots the shadow. Does not miss the second shot. Unfortunately, it is Thomas that is at the ready for the kill. Although Taz keeps it back to a 2v2. That's the kill. Or that's the flank I was talking about, or at least the importance of that position he was playing with. And this time, Taz takes the second fire as he shuts down Zen. It's back to a one-on-one. Invents Dika. I'm fairly certain he was noticed. I'm fairly certain he should be heard as well. Thomas, yeah, he goes for the plant. Oh, the one-on-one ring around the Rosie. Dika closes it out. Thomas, this time not ready, as he will be swayed left and right. And it is 4-3, Aristocracy keeping it alive, keeping their dream of a potential victory on the CT side alive.
Yeah, and again, a pretty close battle game so far to begin these first couple of rounds. Again, NoChance will be able to put a rebuy back on the board. The T-side economy always going to favor. Scary part is if Aristocracy are to lose this round, or at least lose 3+ players, that's going to keep them at a low economy state as well. So the scary part is they have to do it cleanly and pretty consecutively as well if they want to stay alive in the CT side, or else it's always going to be back and forward to really begin the round itself. But yeah, this time NoChance again putting a lot of that pressure and focus out toward the outside position. Manice, easy shot, gap in the smoke, Crystal dead all day long. And as Diha takes down Makalele as well, it just gets worse. A 5-on-3 that sees no trade just yet. Manice taking him down through the box. Well, that's a fairly simple round for Aristocracy themselves. A 5-3 on the board, and even with damage done, it's Mouse that takes the kill. Eco last man alive, and by the looks of things, they're not even going to lose a single man in this round. So, a 5-3 on the board, and with NoChance's economy starting to deplete, they will be able to buy once more, but still Makalele's going to be limited. Crystal not too far out in front either, so it already gets a little bit more difficult for NoChance just in these next couple of rounds.
Well, I mean, this certainly is turning out to be a pretty darn good start for Aristocracy, no matter how it might have turned that NoChance have gotten 3. But alas, I mean, it is a start that they needed. It is a start that they desperately needed. As Tika will clock out Ralen. It's not really going to give him much of a choice here, and he's going to be looking to save his rifle. I'm surprised that NoChance are this relentless at taking outside control, yet they get shut down on pretty much every second time they go out. So hopefully we'll we'll see a bit of a difference this time as they do go for an eco up next. Or at least they should be going for an eco. Although I could be wrong, actually. Loss bonus plus a little bit of bank saved up. No, it's going to be a buy, yeah. By the looks of it, it will be a buy. Fair enough. 3 AKs, SG. Pistol by Mike. Or is that really just a Glock?
Surely not.
It's just a Glock. I'm fairly certain.
Unless it's an MP5 and doesn't show on the hood just yet. But I swear they fixed that.
Yeah, me too. I'm pretty certain that they fixed that. So, Glock only for Mike by the looks of it. Yeah. That's kind of weird to see. But fair enough. A little bit of outside control. Thomas the one that's engaging early on. I love the fact that Aristocracy is denying them secret exit pretty much every single round. And they realize how important this position is. Or at least they know how important it is. How much map control NoChance can take quickly if it's not checked. And oh my god, Dika! Oh, what is NoChance thinking? There was a smoke there thrown by Aristocracy. Surely they know there is a player there. Or at least they should have a single player spotting that one position, being ready for that fight. Crystal, he has no chance. He's trying to wiggle his way out of that. Mike will fall as well. That's 6-3, and that is a bit of a disappointing round from NoChance. Again, they go outside. I just said it, that they continuously go outside, yes, yet they are unable to do anything out of it. So perhaps time to change the direction indeed.
Yeah, and looks like they have taken a little bit of attack pause. Hopefully they have. And they can sit and discuss just what they want to do in this next round or so. But with the way that Aristocracy have been able to control this first half so far, and the fact that NoChance right now don't have all the economy in the world, this should be NoChance again just taking an eco this time to be able to guarantee a purchase for the next. So unfortunately, that's going to be at least 7-3 for the Aristocracy side before NoChance can even put up a buy again. So yeah, this is where it gets a little dangerous. We spoke that Aristocracy might have had a wrongdoing when they came into picking Nuke in the veto. Maybe there was a little bit of an error, but definitely they seem to have prepared for this map to be able to take NoChance. And that's now 2 in the veto that they, if they do take away Nuke and if they do find the victory, 2 maps in the veto that really favor Aristocracy going into the second and third map, both Nuke and Train. Aristocracy being a very good side on Train, one of their key maps even during the Devil's One days. So maybe, you know, the wool has been pulling over the eyes of NoChance a little bit, and they've sort of thought they've been gifted a pick on Nuke or a chance to play on Nuke, but it's Aristocracy that have turned things right around and maybe favored the veto in their favor. But up to now, a NoChance eco to come, or at least a semi-buy before that purchase going into round number 11. And Aristocracy, providing they can get double figures, they should be fine in this CT side. We know that NoChance should be able to repeat similar antics on their CT side, but yeah, Aristocracy just overall so far in the second map playing, you could even say in the first map playing better as well, which I think they definitely were with that second half performance.
Yeah, that's true. They were playing a lot better, but oh, Chaz again sprayed down. It's an eco round, of course. Not really much to be hyped for. 7-3. But as you said, they played excellently on their T side of Dust, and if by a chance, if by a margin, they might be able to translate this into Nuke as well, with already 7 rounds on the board as the CT. Of course, there's a long way to go for them to win this first half yet convincingly, but they've already done a splendid job of at least giving us hope for the future. Whilst for NoChance, again, outside control will be coming through. They've got 4 players focusing on outside. Thomas towards main, a few players towards silo and, well, I guess you could say roof. Overall, NoChance. I'm looking at what they're trying to do here. By the looks of it, they want to infiltrate CT, perhaps even get into hell. But they're so slow about it that they've actually allowed the smokes to pass, the molos to pass, and everybody else from Aristocracy set up the defense. Although this time Zen is ready for the push, and Michael goes wide, finds nothing but bullets from Diha. Luckily, Mouse will be traded by Thomas, as it is back to a 4-on-3. And they know Diha's there, or at least was there. But this is such a weird round still, though. Zen on heaven. Oh, excuse me, on roof. Patiently waiting his chance.
With the fact that, oh, surely was heard as he dropped down toward the site there, Diha. Might have just given maybe some valid info to NoChance that they can play off of. Rylan took close inside of main, but Taz even aware that potentially there are a couple of men wrapping through towards heaven. The Molotovs will now fully outline that, and as Zen takes down the trade, it's Taz that's able to respond down to Diha. Shouldn't survive, even Zen landing a jumping shot. A 7-4, NoChance. They'll put another round on the board. T side looking pretty well so far. We know that's a nice little shot as well. But we know that maybe 4 rounds, 5 rounds is definitely enough on the T side of Nuke. I know a lot of the top tier teams only aim for 2 or 3 rounds and fully focus on their CT side.
Well, it's something that has to do with the map itself, unfortunately. And, you know, at 1.6 Nuke, it was normal to have 11-4, 11-3, 12-3 halves when you played it. But it has been changed a little bit to help the T's as much as possible. Unfortunately, it still hasn't, you know, favored them too much. Maniz and Taz, the entry is theirs once more. Aristocracy, they will open up with a few bangers. Although Crystal comes across through main, we'll be able to at least refrag. Back to a 3-on-4 we go. Ooh, not sure, yeah, on ramp, Maniz gets tagged. Zen will be caught, unfortunately, though, by Rallen. And that's pretty much the round gone, or at least should be gone soon after. I do not see NoChance, or at least Stick in this case, being able to keep this round together.
And unfortunately, that not only does this give Aristocracy an 8th round, but NoChance not going to be having too much bank balance moving forward into the next either. So, probably going to be given 9-4 here on the CT side. Although, nice shot by Stiko. Is down to now 8 points of health from that grenade, so won't be able to really give too much more to the round itself. And there's D to finish. But NoChance giving Aristocracy that victory in the first half already. The money, like I said, not going to be fully in their favor, so having to take another semi-bye. So a 9-4 on the cards and a single round away from that double-figure scoreline to finish off the CT side would be greatly appreciated by Aristocracy to have that sort of margin moving into the second half with how difficult that T side can become. But it looks like we are going to see again another fast-paced play toward the A site. But once again, it's Taz and Diha that are just able to mow them all down. A simple finish to the round, 9-4. And here comes the buy from NoChance that essentially gives them the opportunity to put one more on the board, maybe even fight for that final round of the first half. But losing this one, unfortunately, probably sees an 11-4 for Aristocracy. So do or die time coming in for the T side right now.
Yeah, it's a bit of a vital moment. If they're able to lock out 5 rounds, we spoke about how 4 already could be enough, and if they're content with that, then fine. But you know, 5 would be the cherry on top, and if they're able to lock it out like that, then they can successfully say they'll be happy to how it all ends. But for the moment, the looks of it, it's not really looking too good once more for NoChance. They're going for outside control again. This time, no challenge from Aristocracy presented through Garage at least, and I mean, why would they? They have all the information they need. Rallen is listening to everything. They're going in through outside through hell. Diha is ready. Oh, Diha shots prematurely. Unfortunately, still gets Crystal. Maybe even the second right now. Thomas has been tagged down to 46 as Mike will be able to refrag Rallen. Mouse, though.
Oh, Mouse.
The angle here is so off-putting, but luckily, it's still enough for him to get a kill. Unfortunately, though, Michael Elliott from CT base shut it down, and it's back to Maniz and Taz. A 3-on-2 Karen. And by the looks of it, we're not done yet with the round itself.
Yeah, and especially not, but Taz. Well, he's able to come up from silo, make himself a double. Closing down 2 vital players of NoChance, and with Zen, the last man alive, bomb stranded in no man's land. 30 seconds on the clock, and it seems like Aristocracy, they'll be keeping up the pace right here. 10-4, all but confirmed. It's left in the hands of Zen to deal with, and a massive task to be able to do so, unfortunately. But the scary part is now that they fully expended into this round, they shouldn't be getting too much going into the finals. So Aristocracy, they might have just bagged themselves an 11th round without particularly having to do too much going into it. And yeah, you can see 3,400 is really the max that they do have. They'll be able to buy AKs and Kevlar for a couple of these players, but you need that utility, and that's what Thomas will have to sacrifice his rifle for. So even Crystal down onto a Tech 9 just to be able to afford. Maybe could have bought himself a UMP or something like that, but money left in the bank for him. 10-4, however, if they can make it 5, they'd be golden, but 11-4 is still okay. They can still work off of that, but just gives Aristocracy that peace of mind. And Manice, don't know about maybe even a triple lineup there. Doesn't matter though, as they take out 2 already. And a 5-on-2 that'll see the end of the first half. 11-4 in the favor of Aristocracy, and what a bounce back, considering the first half scoreline of that first map of Dust 2.
Indeed, I mean, Thomas, last man standing, the only one that's really in the way of Aristocracy picking up 11. And I'm a bit disappointed to see them play outside continuously, yet doing nothing new. Basically going around the same, beating the same drum time and time again. And Thomas, I mean, he's just delaying the inevitable, unfortunately. Second half should bring a few changes, though. The pistol will be the first real tell whether or not NoChance are gonna give a fair fight to Aristocracy, or second pistol. And it's all eyes on NoChance. Can they win this? Can they close it out with a potential, well, 11-5 opening? In any case, Crystal Dualis, Kieran. I kind of like that. Not seen a lot of times, but certainly not the worst of weapons. Thomas, though, well, there we have it. Early on, opening it up, getting himself a few kills. Maniz will refrag, but it's a 4-on-1 as Tico shuts down Maniz.
Yeah, and a beautiful opener by NoChance. Again, like you said, that CT side is always going to be wanting to bounce back, and that's exactly what they're doing so far, rather than last man alive. And yeah, the dualies, I think they were used by, I believe, I want to say Nitro in the final of Cologne just very recently.
It was, there were dualies.
There was dualies in the final, but I can't remember who used them, and I'm pretty sure it was Nitro.
I wouldn't say.
Like they're definitely being more commonly accepted.
Yeah.
As a weapon to work with, but yeah, it's always nice to see them in a pistol round. It's more of a funny thing than it is than most. But Rowland, as he does, at least able to find himself a kill. 45 on the clock, and entering into that A site, gets himself a second. This gets a little shaky now, especially with Thomas on 8 points of health, but not that it matters. 11-5, and NoChance will bag themselves that all-important pistol round. That was exactly what they needed to kickstart their CT side. A beautiful pistol play from Thomas there to take the 2 and the 3rd.
Second, though.
Already dropping down.
Yeah, I mean, a bit of a lucky break there. NC Thomas gets 4 headshots, and well, he's going to be able to at least secure 1 round for NC. This feels like very much what we had on our first map, doesn't it? A bit of a turnaround, a bit of a comeback. Perhaps NoChance will go the full distance instead of how Aristocracy were able to only pick up 12. In any case, it is an eco round. Aristocracy, they respect the rules of economy, and they do not wish to put themselves already, when they're already in a bit of a weird spot, do not wish to put themselves into an even worse of positions. In any case, one thing to mention is that NoChance probably transfers all the MP9s into the next gun round as well. Equally so the UMP, so I would imagine a push coming out from NC, either towards A, either towards ramp, perhaps towards outside. In any case, we should be seeing some sort of aggression with those MP9s. They can't play passively. They can't wait for the AKs to come engage them, because they will lose those duels a lot of times, if not pretty much every time.
And that's the thing, these MP9s are really good weapons, but like you say, only when they're utilized at a faster pace. We should be seeing more aggressive stances taken by NoChance with these MP9s, and that's exactly what we'll look to see. Thomas gets himself tucked inside of Secret, and the rest is going to play pretty default positions, actually. Thomas being grenaded. Try and stay safe. Nice little flashbang to draw out the first, and that's where he has to try and run away. Down to 26. Already some good damage to be inflicted. Oh, nice little shot by Maniz. Catches Makalele on the drive-by. Opens it up into a 5-on-4, and with already previous damage to be inflicted by Thomas. Or onto Thomas. This is where it now gets a little uncomfortable. Maniz is already hungry for blood. He knows that there should be at least one more man lingering in this type of position, and he's getting relatively close to Stiko right now. We'll spot him soon. There's the shot. Very smart from Maniz to go venturing like that. Takes out 2, and there's Rylan picks off Thomas. A 5-on-2. The T-side gun round already starting very well for Aristocracy. That's going to be a 12-6 on the board already for this T-side, and they'll be looking to make more of it. There is economy left in the bank of NoChance, of course. That's always the risk that you take when you're using those MP9s. You're significantly weaker, but you save more money, then even taking out 2 in the process. So some decent kills to be found, but a T-side gun round already to be sort of secured that puts them on a 12th, especially with NoChance now having to rebuy, of course.
Yeah, I mean, I said how the MP9s will not be able to win duels, and of course they do not. So kind of surprised they play a standard setup with the SMGs instead of trying to work out a bit of an aggressive style, trying to get themselves into a bit of a better early position. The rebuy is here, though, as you mentioned, and we should be seeing an AWP on Makalele. He has $4,000, and this shot was pretty amazing, by the way. A good reaction from Maniz.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is it. This is do or die time for NoChance. They lose this. This is most likely 14-6 afterwards, and pretty much you're not going to be having any chance to get out of that kind of scoreline anymore, or at least not much of a chance. In any case, Makalele, he's got himself the AWP. There's no kit, no real utility to work with, and Mike misses the first shot. Oof, that is a bit of a stingy mistake, because now Aristocracy know there's an AWP in the hands of NoChance. All they have to do is make sure they avoid it openly, or at least not give it free kills everywhere they try to go aggress. And I don't know, this is a pretty passive setup. NC taking giving a lot of room to Aristocracy.
Probably not something you want to be doing either. Especially when we know they can just turn at the push of a button and mouse. He'll be able to close out Makalele. That's already that AWP to be shut down, inhibited, not able to be worked with. 45 on the clock, though. Again, a 1-for-1 trade. Even with Stiko putting a frag on the board, it's already Rylan that replies instantly. And yes, you can get kills, but you have to get them untraded. That's how you take him an advantage. But with a 4-on-3 and that B bomb site already locked down, this should just be NoChance going for a save now. But unfortunately, a 13-6. Aristocracy going to be taken again.
Oh.
Another T-side round. Manish closing down Zen. If they'd have saved 3 rifles, they would have been fine going into the next round. They could have maybe bought off of the back of this. But now that they've lost 1, and they're down to only 2 being surviving, and 1 of those is an MP9, this makes now life so much worse. And there's Manish again to find 1 more. Crystal at least does have an AWP, but when it's the only weapon being saved into the next round and you have to eco, it essentially rules it out unless you go absolutely monstrous with it. So, scarily, 14-6 is probably on the board for this T-side right now, and they're only a couple of rounds away from confirming map number 3 and going into arguably probably the map that Aristocracy should have picked in this veto, which was Train. But they've really blown us away with this nuke pick. I think they've been on the server. They were ready and prepared, and I think they've given NoChance a false sense of security by picking this map.
Yeah, seems like a bit of a Trojan horse coming out of Aristocracy, and NoChance bit it hook, line, and sinker. Dika flashed out, still gets a kill, and saved by the bell of Mouse, or at least by the bullets of Mouse. So this should be easy. 14-6. Mike, the only goal here is to save that AWP. That's the only thing they really have got going for themselves once we move on to our potentially final map, onto a potentially final gun round of NoChance in general. And yeah, well, they know he's there now. They know he's in garage. He's as good as dead. Unless he can shut down pretty much 3 or 4 players here, he's pretty much done for. Nice shot, finds 1. Goes for the secondary. Unfortunately, though, it is Taz from up above, and it is the end here. 14-6. This is it. Do they buy, or do they eco? Well, I think the answer is pretty clear. M4's out. Crystal goes for 1 of his own. Nope, just for Moss. Utility instead. Fair enough. Mike. Auto shotgun. And I'm kind of flabbergasted because, you know, I was certainly convinced about how good NC were on their nuke side. I guess I am proven wrong by Aristocracy, and I'm absolutely loving this performance by the polls so far.
Yeah, me too. The way that they've been able to dismantle NoChance in the second map has been really, really good. They've looked so much stronger compared to what we saw on Dust 2. And this right now is going to be whether Aristocracy can close it out quickly or not and get us into that 3rd and final map on Train. Again, it's a map that NoChance have taken victories on in the past, but Aristocracy, it's one of their home turf sort of map picks, so should be prepped and ready for it. A 5-on-3 already with 1:05 approaching on the clock, and we'll see this time Aristocracy having such a large advantage, and especially if they lose this, it's going to be a very swift end to the map itself, probably a 16-6, providing that they don't win this round, which by the looks of things right now is not going to be the case. Rallen closes down Zen. It's a 5-on-1. Makalele taking out 2 with the auto shotgun, makes it a 3rd.
No bullets.
But unfortunately runs out of bullets, and that's going to see 15-6. Makalele the only man with any sort of economy. The rest will have to be scrappy buys, and yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't feel like enough to put them across the line and take the success. So unfortunately, Aristocracy, they might have just already guaranteed as a 3rd map.
I think this is pretty much guaranteed indeed. There is not really much that NC can do. And already we saw that their defaults on T side outside were pretty poor. And I guess CT wouldn't really have changed anything for the better, no matter the outcome of the first half. Crystal finds 1. Zen tries to spray, tries to do some good work, but not really going to do much. Stiko, there it is. Kobe to finish the round. And so the map as well. It's 16-6 final score, and it is Aristocracy that keep it alive in this best-of-3 series.
just wanna. Everybody now. Oh yeah. Stop your feet. I just wanna. Stop your feet. Everybody now. Stop your feet. I just wanna. Oh yeah. Oh, oh yeah. Oh no. Stop your feet. Everybody now. Stop your feet. I just wanna. Oh yeah. Oh, stop your feet. Oh no. Everybody now. Stop your feet. Your feet. Your feet. Your feet. Oh yeah. Everybody now. I just wanna. Everybody now. Oh yeah. Stop your feet. I just wanna. Stop your feet. Everybody now. Stop your feet. I just wanna. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no. Stop your feet. Everybody now.
It is our second and our third final map. Our second best of 3 and our third final map of the day. It is going to be Train, the last map to see this conclusion between Aristocracy and NoChance. The loser eliminated, the winner facing off XCOM, aka now known as... Wait, what are they known as? Illuminati?
Illuminar,
Illuminar? Yeah, Illuminar.
Yeah.
Gaming. So in any case, gentlemen, I think we're ready to kick it off. And of course, I'm not alone in this. It is my good friend and co-caster Kieran joining me for this one. And I have to say, Nuke looked pretty weak. Nuke looked pretty bad. Can Train look better? Or is it going to be Aristocracy now just stomping defeat with NoChance?
Yeah, it seems like NoChance definitely got shook during that second map. They looked like an entirely different squad if we compared them to Dust 2 and what we saw from that showing. So, yeah, NoChance going to have to bounce back pretty hard on Train to face off against a very, very well-prepared Aristocracy here on this map. But, yeah, we'll see how that goes. And, of course, Aristocracy being the side that just won Nuke, so they're going to be going into this at least with the momentum in their favor. But we'll find out, you know, what happens during the game. Knife rounds will be deciding, of course, who gets that CT side. And by the looks of things, it should be NoChance. They should be switching over, I think, for this map. So we'll see how that goes for them. But yeah, it's going to be a really interesting third map. Of course, this map decides who gets eliminated.
Absolutely. I mean, I hope that you know, both teams are aware of that. Sometimes teams might not even think about stuff like that, and obviously they are. I'm just kind of, you know, I'm hoping that NoChance will not toy with Aristocracy, because some rounds on Nuke were a little bit foolhardy, whilst on Dust, definitely a few moments where you could easily say, yo guys, you know, if that's intentional, that's pretty poor thinking, right? Pretty poor setup. But it is going to be Train. It is our last map, and if anything, both of these two teams have played Train multitude of times in the past. Aristocracy just previously, I think it was... wait, who were they playing? Just a few days ago, they had a...
Aves in the Polish final.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
in the Polish land thing.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. In the Polish Esports League, right? Or what it's named. Not sure if it's...
Yeah,
Polish.
yeah.
Yeah. So they lost 16-11 to VP. I mean, there's that. You know, there's that in that kind of manner. I don't know, though. I mean, NoChance, they look so shaky on Nuke. They looked so off angle, if I can say that, or at least off key, that maybe there's more things to consider than just a few issues in game. But in any case, Well, there we go. The pistol is about to go live. NC win the knife round. They'll be choosing their CT side. And Aristocracy, we've got 2 smokes, a Molotov, and a flashbangs. By the looks of it, a pretty standard, perhaps a split through pop. It's doable. It's certainly possible. Although we could be seeing some B takes coming out pretty soon.
Yeah, definitely could be the more of a B side of map that they look to favor, and definitely seems that way for now. Mao's looking to sell a little bit of a fake though, and NoChance might be buying it. Have 2 players at least inside of top heaven, but a further 3 toward the A site themselves, so holding pretty standardly for now. Like this boost though, that does give Zen a little bit of an element of surprise, but overall, Aristocracy now going to start to direct themselves toward this A bomb site. This is going to be more of a split than any if we do see it. There we go, Mao's already inside of Pop Dogs. Yeah, this is more of your standard A site take, split through Pop. Get those nades thrown over with Taz as well. And as they do come flying on through, 50 seconds approaching, pretty decent time to be able to enter the bomb site themselves. Mao's going to be the first out of Pop. Rowland dropped down to 51 as he crosses, but still Daiha. Daiha taking down Crystal. Beautiful first kill to find, and as that bomb is planted, a 5-on-4 for NoChance to contest with. And look at Mao's. He's already right underneath. Stiko has no idea. Goes to contest him, will take the kill. And meanwhile, Daiha finds himself 3. That's just Makalele left alone, and a beautiful start out of Aristocracy again. You can tell they're really bringing the pace to NoChance now.
Indeed, they are. I mean, it's 1-0 already without Makalele being able to do anything about it. He has no kit. He can go for a few exit frags, but perhaps it would be more prudent to try and save the Kevlar at this point. As he takes down his second player, it will be caught by Rallen in the end. 1-0 in Aristocracy, a very nice pistol opening. It looked like perhaps a straight A play early on with a split through Pop, but they delay it. They used the utility early on, or they used the utility to try and block, to try and sell a bit of a fake towards B, and well, in the end, it ends up perfectly. It's 1-0, forcing NoChance onto full eco. Crystal goes for the scout. Interesting decision, since the rest of his teammates are not really buying up at all. It is going to be a bit of a weird buy he's going to have the next gun round. But overall, at least Aristocracy will have a bit of an easier time clearing him off. 3 AKs, excuse me, a Mac-10 and a PT-50. Aristocracy, they're aware what they're firing up against. They know that the only thing they need to make sure is they play together and they refrag each other. Yeah, there it is, Mouse. Easy double. Probably going to get the quad here.
Yeah, he's already wrapping around pipeline PT. As easy as you like.
Yep.
Second round for Aristocracy. Going to be seeing now, of course, NoChance. Like you said, going to be on a bit of a weird buy. Crystal investing into that scout and doing absolutely nothing with it. We'll see him down to most likely an MP9, or maybe even taking the role of a scout. Yeah, he's going to do exactly the same, so fair enough. Again, onto a very iffy weapon to work with. Should just the Aristocracy having an easier time of taking that third round, and they'll be loving this so far, with giving NoChance a little bit of a jagged start, to say the least. Although Stiko, nice little first kill to find. Mao's ready to fall, and with him being the only aggressor, that really sets the pace kind of wrongly for Aristocracy. He was the first man out, but was so solo. There's no one really anywhere close to try and support that. And that's a free kill for NoChance, a minute 20. And a big disadvantage for Aristocracy to try and undo again. We'll have 3 men, make that 4 with a quick rotate available from the back of the B bomb site toward this A site. And it's all about how NoChance can defend rather than Aristocracy breaking through this. Already backline CT again. Mani's going to try and utilize that Mac-10 in his favor. He spots out the player on back of train.
Yeah, he should have spotted him. Well, it doesn't really matter. He still gets the kill. It's Thomas on site that defends the rally, or at least the position. But unfortunately, he has to drop down into connector itself. Taz coming across close range. He's going to be taking connector control. It's Makalele coming in through Ivy. He's going to be looking to perhaps snag out a free frag. He does get Daiha at least. Still a 1-on-2 though. And Makalele, well, there will be no Lila tonight. It's going to be 3-0. And what a poor start for NC. So far, a clean sweep from Aristocracy. Should be an eco for NC, and we should be seeing pistols and Kevlar. Perhaps a stack towards B would be a good choice. Perhaps a push towards Ivy. Just not going for the standard classic hold from sight.
Yeah, and especially with NoChance on these pistols can definitely be a deadly asset if they get themselves up close, and that's exactly what they're going to look to do. Storm that front main of the A main entrance, but not that it's really going to matter too much. Mouse and Rylan, they'll dispatch of 3 already. And into a 5-on-2 that sees Crystal already dead. Zen, the last man alive, just sit in the molly. Why not? The 4-0.
3 frags.
So easily, and Mouse, there it is, finishes it off. 4-0. Aristocracy starting trains so well, much like they finished Nuke. And realistically, much like they could have finished Dust 2 as well. I've got to say that since that second half of the first map, Aristocracy have looked like the better team from that get-go. Even with NoChance being able to close out the first map, I think Aristocracy, they've looked the better side since that switch over of the first map.
Yeah, that's true. You bring a good point up. We talked about how if Aristocracy would have started T side of Dust, if things could have changed, if things could have been different, could potentially be Aristocracy taking themselves up to a victory on Dust and then obviously locking out on Nuke if it were to go the same way again. Although this time Rallen an entry. Thomas refrags. Crystal very patiently on top 6. He needs to be extremely careful though, and well, as I say it, Rallen will take his head off. The bomb might be dropped outside of main, but the man advantage for Aristocracy is the one thing that's going to be playing into their hands continuously. Zen is shut down. Thomas, the only sole defender of the site itself. And Rallen, oh, he has an 8. Yeah, they know he's in pop. That's the round gone. That's going to be it. Steeko. No chance. 5-0. Oof. Full eco again, or at least pistols and Kevlar eco again should be coming out for NC. They don't really have much of anything to work with. Perhaps this time, you know, just going for the stack on B. Screw it. If they go B, you might have a chance of actually perhaps winning the round. If they go A, you just let them the A site and you try to save as much as you can.
Yeah, this is getting kind of difficult right now for NoChance, especially with it being on Aristocracy's T side. If they were doing this on CT, you'd think fair enough, because it's pretty normal to have a spree of rounds on the CT side when you're this controlling, but Aristocracy doing this on their T side is just so confident for them.
Yeah.
Because now that they know that even if they go into the CT side, they're still going to have that upper hand. They're already, now with their 6th round being confirmed, only 2 rounds away from finding themselves that first half victory, and with NoChance bringing absolutely nothing to the table as of yet. If they can get 8 rounds before NoChance even put 1 on the board, I think that's just going to be getting close to the breaking point for this side, and I think they've got a lot of things to consider and a lot of things to work out before they're really going to be finding rounds again. And Makalele, whilst he tries to contest close inside of the pop dog position, he'll find absolutely nothing out of it, and he even has the Nova in hand. You can see a little bit of frustration in the plays of NoChance right now. They want to try and bring something to Aristocracy, but nothing that's going to work as of yet. And now we have it that 6-0 going into the buy round of NoChance.
Yeah, kind of a surprise, really, how it's all turning out to be. Again, I mean, from the get-go, I'd say this should be NoChance winning the entire series, but by the looks of it, I mean, Aristocracy is just dominating this last chance map for NoChance. I mean, there's not really much room NC will be given after this. 6-0 already is an amazing result in itself, and that's more than enough to close out the T side. They can lose 9-6 right here, right now, and it wouldn't be too much of a blow to their side. Surely, I mean, it does mean a lot, obviously, but again, 6 rounds already. That's a healthy amount of rounds, and I have to say, NC, they have to win this. They have to get at least 1 on the board and then do whatever they wish with it. They just have to win 1 round, I guess you could say. Just don't let Aristocracy take it that easily.
Yeah, that's the thing. These guys, whilst they're getting a couple of kills here and there in the rounds, they're just not giving anything close to special or close to confirming the round itself. And Taz able to take out Crystal. I've got to say, Taz has looked lightning in this series. The way that he dropped a lot of kills in that first map. In-game leader, top fragging is something that you rarely see.
Yeah.
So he's looked stellar so far. And again, a 4-on-3 that sees Aristocracy with that 1-man advantage. Whilst Makalele does have the AWP to work with, they've had this before. They've done very little with it. You can see the cash is starting to really build right now for that T side. Nice return fire by Zen. It's Stiko that's able to trade again into a 2 versus 2 this time as they are able to return fire. Both Makalele and Zen to remain, and it seems like they are going to guarantee that it is the A site. Rotate Zen over through that CT position.
Misses the no
Makalele. That's unfortunate. Into a 1-on-2, and it just leaves Zen, and sadly, I don't think he'll be able to overcome both the AWP and the AK to win this round.
Zen. He gets a kill perhaps for free, maybe. Well, gets tagged even. Gets the kill at least, if nothing else. But it's down to Maniz in a 1-on-1. Zen, no kit, at least not that I see, nor much of a chance that I can see. He smokes the bomb, pop flashes the cross, but the CC, too fast, too soon. Yep. There we go, Kieran. There we go. Oof. NC, what is this? They're giving themselves no chance. Let's be honest about this. They're literally... Their hold of A is so bad that... Well, I mean, there's no refrag. There's no crossfire. There's nothing. In Aristocracy, I commend them. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful opening, beautiful style. That's it. It works out, and they're just dominating the playing field. And as far as I can tell, NC, they forced up, they bought up. They lose this. That's probably 9-0, maybe worse.
This could be such a really one-sided half if Aristocracy want it to be. If they keep up with how they've been working so far, this could seriously be 10-11-1 before we see anything. And look at Mouse. He knows exactly where Zen is. Oh. And worse, he knows he's the only man on this B site. So as soon as he's dead, they can just get right behind the flank. They're not even going to care about Zen. He's going to go for more. He has no idea right now. And I hope he keeps Zen alive. Even if he spots him, I hope he keeps him alive, because that gives literally so much illusion and deceit to this Aristocracy side. And looking, he's like, oh my god, he's actually done it. He's on his way around. He's, oh my god, no one spotted him. This is so manic. And as he shuts down 2, that's absolutely beautiful. The trigger patience on Mouse right there has probably been one of the best I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, and Thomas, he gets a kill, but he's low HP. Can't really challenge, can't really fight, duel, or anything of the like. A 4v2 and an eco round coming out for NoChance. Oh. What a shabby performance. Shoddy performance. Shitty performance, I guess we can say.
Literally.
This is 9-0, and this is quite a shame in my eyes for NoChance. You know, I'm a stern defender of people making their mistakes and trying to fix them. That's awesome and all, and you know, you commend them for that. But they're not fixing their mistakes at all. They're not even trying to fix their mistakes. They're just kind of running around the map hoping to get a few kills, or even on the CT side, they just kind of let themselves go a little bit. And well, it shows. It shows big time. Aristocracy, I think they should be able to close it out 10-0, perhaps even. I mean, certainly 9-0 is coming up, almost certain.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, with the way that NoChance up to now have done basically nothing. Well, not even basically nothing. They've done nothing. They have 0 rounds to show for the side of their CT side so far. And even though again they have gone for that rebuy, a couple of M4s and AK saved up, and an AWP, of course, it just looks dire. Right now, Aristocracy have just played such a better game. The worst part about it is Thomas, he wasn't even able to get a kill down either there because he was just fully blind, and I'm pretty sure it was a team flash. That's already him dead. Second to be spotted, Steeko already shut down. Taz, as he already spots out the man on the back of the bomb site. This actually gives so much difficulty to NoChance, not just in this game, but just over the grand scheme of things. In a week's time, they're playing in the minor, and of course they're playing, I think the first game announced is a best of one against Mousesport.
Yeah.
So for a VOD like this to be available,
yeah, they can be read. Yeah, that's
exactly.
Yeah.
For someone like Carrigan, he's just gonna open the VOD, flick through like 3 rounds, and be like, "Yeah,
and see
we
what
know
they're
how to
doing.
win train."
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, exactly. So there is logic behind it. I definitely could see it. I mean, there's a bigger tournament to play, a bigger fish to fry, trying to you know, hide your tactics, hide your best plays, etc., etc. Definitely not impossible, but I mean, there are different ways to go about it. You know, they can change it out without completely destroying their chances of winning. In any case, first entry to NoChance, probably for the first time in this map, almost, I dare say. Zen tagged down to 6, though, and Maniz close range. Mike, smoke in hand, crouched up, and that's gonna be a perfect start. Aristocracy, even with the refrag, or excuse me, even with the opening lost, they've got the refrag and they've got themselves again a position to work with, a position to most likely be able to close the round with.
Yeah, and this is looking like such a one-sided game, and that's exactly because it is. Zen shuts down D here, though. He is down to 6 points of health, but can definitely keep on battling. Crystal, this is better. NoChance might have finally been able to break the cycle and look to win themselves a first round here on the CT side. Crazy that we only started this map like 20 minutes ago, and we're already 9-0 right now, but still Taz into the 1-on-3, make it 1-on-2.
Oh, he
This
evades
now
the
gets
notion.
a little scary just for the... Oh my god, Taz.
Oh, the timing here.
Oh my god!
Whew.
Down to 1 HP. Surely goes back. Yes, he does, but Stiko finally able to close him down. Confirms the first round for NoChance, but... Oh boy, it's a long way back. Let's put it like that.
It took them long enough. 1-9. And we might be calling 911 pretty soon if NoChance don't get their shit together. Forgive my French, but that's the way it is. Double up coming out, Stiko and Zen. Oh, Ivy peek. Zen is ready, and he gets himself 1 at least. Taz will fall. So the entry again goes to NC, and a good start for them. 3 players towards B. We should be seeing a bit of rotation back towards site. This time Zen, another one. And I guess we can safely say NoChance might be able to finally grab themselves the second round, and Aristocracy perhaps not really knowing how to respond against a double up play, which would make no sense, but then again, it would make perfect sense, because so far NC haven't really tried double up.
Yeah, and the funny thing is they're switching the AWP around now. Obviously, Stiko picking it up himself rather than Makalele, so you can see that they're getting a little desperate, wanting to try and bring different aspects, and obviously Zen is the typical secondary AWPer. It's usually Zen or Stiko that picks it up, so... Yeah, it's really looking a little difficult right now for NoChance, but providing that they get a couple in a row, which is exactly what they're looking to do now. And this could work out. Crazy to think both of those AWPs have got 2 kills apiece. We've not seen a single frag with a rifle just yet. Now we will. But maybe, like you're right, maybe the double AWP setup is exactly what they needed to come into that. They'll find themselves a second round. We'll see the rebuy out of Aristocracy, of course. They got plenty of cash to work with, but it's still a second on the board, and at least just able to give a little bit more confidence to NoChance, because that was really what they were lacking before that first round.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm kind of eager to see how it all plays here, as it is going to be a bit of a brown holes control play coming out of Aristocracy. 3 players going to be challenging this. This is a vital battle coming up right here, right now. Stiko, Mike, and Thomas all together, looking to take control of brown holes. Stiko burning alive this time, missing a shot and burning alive. Oh no, Stiko and Mao's now gonna clear the angle. Mao's gonna clear both. What? Oh my lord. NoChance. Well, literally NoChance. That is gonna be 10-2, and oof, the money blow is gonna be the one big problem. Zen snipes Dika, but again, back to square one, back to where we were before this, as Crystal is the last man standing. You should be looking to save this as best he can, as they will be able to drop from him a rifle, and Mike and Zen have enough for themselves to buy something. But, oh, this is such an unfortunate turn, and one of the worst timings for it as well, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
if at least NC win a round with 5 men surviving, get a little bit of bank, then okay, lose 1 round happens. But here, oh, it just hurts to see this.
Yeah, essentially, it's now back to square one, unfortunately. NoChance, whilst they're able to put in, again, another double AWP setup, I think they had to. Even if they have to go glass cannon, which they luckily don't, I think they had to bring out the double AWP setup just because that's the only thing in these past couple of rounds that's actually worked for them. So, yeah, thankfully they bring those back out again, but even so, it's still a long road ahead, and especially if Aristocracy keep winning rounds like this, it gets even longer. Diha takes out Stiko. That's going to be a first kill in the first, 18 seconds of the round. You can't be losing a man like that. And Rylan, whilst he will be spotted upon his exit of A main, trying to divide the attention a little bit. Taz shuts down Thomas. Battle of the team there, and it's the old boy that comes out on top. It's Makalele that tries to at least rattle a shot in return, but as Rylan puts himself inside of hell, Makalele tagged down low. It goes from bad to worse for this side. They're now having to go in for a save. If they can keep all 3 players alive, then it's actually not too bad, but that's an 11th round on the board for this Aristocracy side, and they are not slowing down for hell no leather right now.
They are just plowing through. This feels like the old VP, you know, just kind of going through and through the motions and finishing everybody off. Zen gets himself an exit frag. It's not really going to count for much. And it's Aristocracy 11-2 so far. A perfect first half. No matter how you want to spin this story, it cannot get better besides just, going up to 13-2. Pretty much repeating the result of Dust. And,
yeah.
and, well, perhaps being able to close it successfully afterwards as well. In any case, NoChance, 2 FAMASes, an MP9, an auto shotgun, and the op saved up. There's not really much they have to offer, but perhaps they can finally find at least the 3rd.
Right now, luckily Thomas, they've even resorted to an auto shotgun.
Yeah.
This is a map you never see an auto on, so you know it's like a last resort.
Pretty much. Or you see it like B or maybe pop, right? But never on A, or at least not directly on towards main.
True, yeah. 4 on 3, 1:15 left, and even with Maus being low, he has been handed that AWP to work with, so that's his one way in. But a nice shot by Makalele. Shuts down Diha rather than he's not even been expected. Manise taking down Zen, and just by taking that second man towards Ivy, it's so simple. And Crystal, the last man alive, coming in from those flanks. 1 on 3, and even with 50 seconds on the clock, it's so predicted by Maus. Not that he can't find the kill, but with Manise already lingering on those top lines, he gets it done. 12-2, most likely 13 to come, and it's just so unfortunate for NoChance here.
Oh my god. Production having some fun with the replays as well. I'm loving it. 12-2, last round, first half. This is it. Mike again on the op. We do have a few rifles here and there. An MP9 on Zen, but it's a full A rush. And this time, Mike finds 1, Crystal the 2nd, and it's NC. That will find 3 kills. Well. The first time Aristocracy decide to rush straight up towards a site, they lose it. Well, I guess that works out. Now we know why they did not rush at all. Diha, 1 on 5, and remains a 5 on none. That's going to be 3-12 first half, or 12-3, gentlemen, as Aristocracy take it on their T side. Very successfully and very... Definitely not the best performance we had seen out of them in the past. And then when you look at Nuke, they were very solid. They kept their heads clear. They were just dominating the playing field. And I doubt we'll see anything different coming out of this second half, third map, last map of this best of 3 series. Holy shit, look at the odds. 16.7 to 1? Jesus. Who's making up these odds?
That's essentially capped out right now, because how the live odds work, the more rounds you win, the more...
the less of a...
The bigger,
the bigger the difference is. Yeah,
so right now, I think 16-7 is capped, so you can't go any... That's how bad it is.
Damn, well, it is pretty bad when Rallen does that. Hat trick already. Oh boy. Well, Stiko refracts 1 crystal the second. Looks like back to a 3-on-2 we go. At least a chance here for NoChance. But a big issue might be coming up if they lose 1 more player. Luckily, Stiko connects. Mouse will fall. D had 3 as well. That's a problem. That's a big problem.
Looks like NoChance right now might have actually pulled this back from a 5-on-2. Crystal and Stiko been absolutely bossing so far, and hasn't the back of the sight. CZ in hand, it's Stiko. I think he's just saved the round for NoChance. It's a 2-on-1, and with Diha down to 3 points of health, looks like NoChance.
Wow.
They're getting him back into the game, and exactly so, a 4K from the man himself.
A 2v5.
And yeah, a 2v5 lost by Aristocracy. NoChance grab a pistol, a 4th on the board. I'm not saying they're back into this, but it's at least a little confidence boost.
Yeah.
In the dire straits of a game in itself.
Well, I think we can safely say that it's going to be down to the gun rounds, obviously, and to the real nitty-gritty rounds that's going to decide whether or not NoChance will be able to make the comeback. But Thomas, fast, eager, and the kill on his side. It's going to be the A site lost, and we should be seeing a 5-12 result coming up pretty soon. Nice read by Crystal, holding backline CT. Oh. Okay, Diha. Just a second. Don't tell me this is a pistol victory. It's a force buy coming out of Aristocracy, and they have Deagles and, well, not really much else but Deagles and Diha. He's been crazy in the past. The bomb has been planted at least. That's the saving grace right now. Diha taking the fight against Mike. Pushing out. Mike will lose. Diha. Oh, runs out of bullets luckily. Back to 1-on-1 though. Oh, Lord.
No time, but so much damage.
Time, yeah. Jesus. This round, man. As you said, luckily no time, but NoChance. They lose all 5 players, and above all else, that was just a simple force buy. What is going to happen on a gun round?
Exactly. If they're losing all 5 in that sort of position, especially with a single man just on a deagle, yeah, you've got to really consider that once they pick up those rifles, what are they actually going to be able to bring? But luckily, they do have, again, a chance to be able to put a 6th on the board at least. But with the money that has been stacked up, we'll be able to, again, go for that buy into the next round. They'll have the AWP. Hopefully they will. Anyway, that's something that Aristocracy like to bring out. But even so, looking still pretty good for Aristocracy, especially with how far that NoChance currently are behind. Yes, they got the pistol, but I mean, as soon as you win the pistol, you most likely win either 1 or 2 extra rounds. And Diha, again, even with a P250, still going to be ripping heads. Damage done. Makalele finally to close him down. 4-on-2. And he's already down to 16, shut off by Thomas. And a pretty simple finish out of NoChance this time. 12-6 on the board, and a way back in for NoChance, but of course they have to contend with that first gun round of Aristocracy coming up next.
Yeah, I mean, half apart, half a world away. They can easily close the distance if they wake the hell up and they get their mindset in order, I guess, or whatever might be troubling them. Surprisingly enough, they are on land, and it's, you know, it's still such a difficult performance for them that it comes as a bit of a shock to me. But fair enough, you know, teams can have issues if they've not been on land long, or if they haven't been on land before, and the change of setting, the change of everything can be difficult to adapt to at first. But hopefully they're able to adapt ASAP. In any case, the entry and the refrag is there. It is Maniz that pushes Brownhold zone. He's having pretty aggressive control exerted towards Brownholes itself. Rollin pushes towards Ivy, gets a free frag. Now it's Crystal slow walking, duck walking towards upper. And so far, Maniz, jumping shot. It's Thomas to hit it. Mouse will refrag though for Mike. And it's back to a 3-on-2. Bomb site B is perhaps unprotected, but there is a player already out of connector. And Thomas, unless he's careful, he will be shut down by Mouse. Well, luckily, not much damage dealt.
Oh, still spotted at the end of Oils, though. That's a nail in the coffin for Thomas right there. And with Rallen already prepared for Crystal, a 13-6. Aristocracy right back on the grind, right back into this. Taking away that first gun round. Of course, NoChance will be able to repurchase. They'll have
4 AKs.
Yeah, the 4 AKs. I'd even say Stiko sack it, go into a glass cannon, but he's not going to take it. Go for the Krieg instead. Still a very valid weapon. Thomas does exactly the same. Zen only on a Deagle. Unfortunately, kind of reminiscent to when Makalele just had a Glock on Nuke. While the rest of his side had a purchase, but yeah, even so. 13. Looking like 14 if this goes wrong, although Thomas able to strike for the first. Rallen getting aggro, however, nade in hand, and that's where he gets caught out. Maybe should have expected a second man there, but nothing can be done about it now. A 4-on-3, and with damage done to both Diha and Taz, maybe a chance for NC to get back into a round, secure themselves a little bit of confidence boosting in this sort of position, and look to battle again, because right now Aristocracy don't have as much build-up of cash as they would like to. So if NC take away this round, they probably get one more after if they go for an eco, although there is Rallen and Taz do have a little bit of money, but it's all about those steady steps for NoChance. And this round would definitely be one of those, but 50 seconds approaching on the clock, and it seems like Ivy is going to be their take. Mouse is prepared for it, but it depends how many are going to come on running down. 45 on the clock, and Mouse will go for the peak, find absolutely nothing. Rest of the players out onto the A site, though, and they might not expect this.
Well, certainly they will not expect Taz early on, as Stiko will come out of main. Taz, unfortunately, will be peeked out, and Stiko times it perfectly to take down Diha. So back to a 7-13 result, as Aristocracy are forced to play Pistols and Kevlar, most likely. I mean, they have enough for an AWP and an M4 and Taz, but that's really gonna be pulling a few long shots off, and it's a bit dangerous to do it when you're this close to winning. Certainly, it's better to just save up, get yourself a good map, good buy up, and then try and work with that. But in any case, NC finally an anti-eco setup. They are completely locking themselves into their positions, not allowing any sort of surprise to take them unprepared. A minute, 30 seconds. Time is ticking. And Aristocracy, well, they've got a single AUG if nothing else.
Yeah, and especially can't discount Diha with his pistol. Has been monstrous in this map with his Desert Eagle, but yeah, in the grand scheme of things, shouldn't realistically be bringing too much to the table in this sort of position. NoChance should be able to simply manage this round, hopefully with minimal casualties. So that AUG, there's Diha. You can never discredit this man. Rallen will find one of his own as well, and that's already 2 men disadvantaged. And Diha, he's looking for more. He spots out the man, spots the second, can't convert, unfortunately, but there's Taz to do so. They can now get a flank on through. They can wrap back towards CT. And as that bomb is planted, this now gets so difficult. A 1-man disadvantage to contend with. Makalele going to go hunting, but the timing for Maniz is absolutely perfect. He's already around and out toward the B bomb site before they've even realized. And Stiko, he's prepared for it. There's the first, spotted out the second man as well. Maniz not going to be as fully aware as they would like. Barrel spotted. There's Stiko. Makalele was in support anyway. Traded back again. There's Taz. Can't convert. 13-8, and NoChance saved their ass again, but it should never come down to a 1 versus 1 in a round like that where they had a single rifle.
Yeah, and even then, that single rifle, I mean, okay, it gets a kill, maybe 2 maximum. Everybody should be focusing on the fact that just refrag each other, help each other, not, not allow yourself to be walking, trying to lurk in a 3v3, 4v4, whatever. You lurk out of B? Are you crazy? That's too dangerous. There's no precedence for it. And well, luckily NC have Mike to save their asses, as you said, once more. Though Aristocracy with a full buy in their hands currently, they're not going to be that easy to beat. And Maniz is glass cannon. So it's obviously a bit of a problem, or at least a bit of a shaky... Why is he glass cannon? He's got $800. I've just noticed that. Why is... Okay, I guess he has ulterior motives in mind. That's kind of weird to see. Good pop flash and... Oh, Dicha. That was a good bait, by the way. You could see that the first time he throws that flash is his own and obviously wants to force a reaction from NC's player inside. But then the second flash was perfectly timed with the smoke just going out. And once, Zen turns around expecting a push, there's a flash, and there's the kill. So very well done, very well thought out. Aristocracy playing safe as well. Dicha pulls out a pop. Certainly saves his life there. But yeah. Whew. Tough one for NoChance. Really tough.
They can't even afford right now to go to this A position because look at these setups that Aristocracy are bringing through. This is perfect. Taz and Dicha just get the job done.
So good.
Thomas can't even do anything about it. That's perfect. As soon as they realized that Pop was being contended, it was a little late, but they already put themselves inside of main and thought, okay, maybe they're going to come through this A bomb site just because there was a player in Pop, and that's exactly what they've done. Maniz finishes off Makalele. That's a 14-8 money is now destroyed.
That's it.
Yeah, and it might just be. This should be a 15th to come. They might even force buy just because Thomas is on 1400, but even so, I think either outcome eco or buy at this point. I think the end outcome is the same. Yeah, exactly the same. Yeah. And unfortunate, but Aristocracy said this at the end of that Nuke game. They've just come out as a better side, and they've kept that up through not only the 2 maps they've won, but even that first where they didn't win just narrowly with the comeback they made. I think it still showed that they had the fight ready for this series.
Yeah, they had the energy for this series, of course, and they're showing it perfectly. Oh, absolutely. Much more than NoChance. And again, we talked about how it could be the fact that they're playing in the minor qualifiers, right? Or in the minors themselves, that, NoChance want to hide their tactics. It's something we've seen in the past. It's certainly not something we haven't heard before of. But it's a bit of a sad sight, really. I was hoping for a bit of a better performance out of NC, regardless of how this map ends. Even if they are able to win in the end somehow, they played very poorly as a whole, and Aristocracy, they deserve this victory. They will be going on to face off ex-XCOM, Illuminar Gaming, their countrymen.
So glad they didn't use that tag for long. Imagine saying ex-XCOM for 3 maps.
No, I'd just say XK. I don't know. I just used something else, but yeah, I mean, it's not the end yet. We could still see NoChance in that position, but we know, or at least we are aware of the fact, or at least of the position they're in, and a single mistake in this round will cost them everything. Taz, in old hell, he's ready. Oh! That's a bit of a misspray there from Taz, boy. Maniz gets 1, Dicha will refrag, or at least be refragged, as Thomas is at the ready. Second for Thomas, but it's Mouse and, well, no Mouse. Back to square one, 9-14, and that's all on Taz there. His spray was poor, to say the least.
Yeah, just whiffed a little bit, unfortunately. Happens, but yeah, like you say, with a 9th on the board, for NoChance, they've got to get 7 in a row to consecutively win this map and take the series. 6 in a row to at least guarantee overtime before Aristocracy get there, or even if they do, try and get 6 rounds. But it's a long road, and especially with Aristocracy again having this bye round. If NC do actually take this one, they can probably make this at least 14-11 before the next purchase. Yeah. So definitely a chance that they can battle some close rounds and at least make the 3rd map a little competitive. But providing that Aristocracy do take away this one, they would be in a very similar position. There would be less money on this NoChance side. So So it's all about this CT side just being able to find victory in this one to close out a pretty swift game. Still with Crystal and Co making their way down toward Ivy.
Oh, the boost
Zen.
will work out.
Yeah, surely. As soon as that smoke begins to dissipate, luckily Rowland does pull back and is wise enough to not fully over-aggress. Flash from D here about to come and give Taz a little bit of a peek opportunity, though. There it is exactly. Does spot a little bit of info off of it, but not going to fully aggress. And NoChance taking their time in this round. 40 seconds just about to approach. And with the fact that they have 3 down or 2 down towards Ivy, yes, this is definitely going to be an A split, unless they might actually go through backline CT down toward B. Yeah, this could work out, but look how many players Aristocracy have. 2 toward the B site and 1 actually watching backline CT. They might actually re-dive back toward this A site, and they know exactly now what the plan is.
Oh, the
Mouse
Molotov.
has to be careful. The Molly forces the smoke and slows them down entirely.
Mouse.
Perfect from Aristocracy.
And Mouse will shut it down. Zen left alone again. The Lurker out of position, out of time, and out of rounds. It is going to be 15-9. And it is series point coming up for Aristocracy, whilst for NoChance, not only do they have to deal with the mess at hand, they have no money left in the bank. They have barely enough to buy a Galil from Zen. The rest will be forced to play with whatever they can muster up. Scouts, SMGs, pistols. But this is it, I think, Karen. This is what we've been talking about consistently for the last few rounds. Aristocracy, they just seem too good to let this one slide. And I said at the start of this series that I would expect NoChance to win 2-0, but if Aristocracy were to win Dust, then I'd definitely see, you know, Train going their way, because Train is a map where both teams are very, very good on. At least they were, whilst for NoChance, I think we're being proved wrong right here, right now. And yeah, I mean, it's an A play. It's going to be their best chance here. NoChance. Crystal finds one Thomas for the support. It stands still with a double. Rowland burns one alive. Stiko refrags, but it's a 2-on-3. And a very, very difficult battle coming out for these two men. Mike at least has an AK. He can work out perhaps a kill. At least equalize the numbers. But look at the setup. Look at how Aristocracy have set themselves so passively. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, they know the game's in their hands. All they have to do is just wait. And just bank on the mistakes of NoChance at this point. And as they're already onto the back of the bomb site, Rowland still playing as safe as ever. Makalele taking out one, but that's the bomb dropped. Stiko falls, and unfortunately Makalele does too. 16-9 Aristocracy. They eliminate NoChance.